hopefully everyone will get connected in a minute. Well, anyway, let's introduce. Hello, one and all.
Hello.
Hello. Right. Just checking. So, annoyingly, Arena and Rannick sharing a mic means you both pop up when you talk, but at least you both pop up, so that works. So I've got cute little icons that pop up on the stream when you guys talk now. It's your Hero Forge.
I can go to a completely different floor of the house and be on my own mic.
I'm joking. It's not a problem. Besides, it'll break. I'd have to work out all your individual codes, and I'd have to work out your different IDs, so it's not a problem. So, everyone's here. Everyone appears to be here apart from Goodfella, but hopefully he'll make it. So, I seem to recall when we left you last, you just dealt with a multiple-limbed goblin.
And we have.
And I moved one of the zombies to test things with, didn't
Goblin.
I? And I haven't put
The goblin. Yeah.
And then you've basically just found yourselves in a room with pits with zombies at the bottom of them.
Yeah, we were about to loot his corpse, I think.
Were you about to loot his corpse, or did you loot his corpse? Like,
no, we were going to, but
you
were having
and I worked
difficulties with.
Yes,
yeah.
I guess what I forgot I didn't do.
Loot, did you?
Yeah, we didn't loot his corpse because you hadn't sorted it out yet.
Oh, and guess what I completely forgot to do. Okay.
2 guesses and we don't need the second one?
Possibly. Orange Fountain. Oh, I'm on the. I tell you why, because I've somehow got 2 different notebooks going, and I've obviously been up checking the wrong one. Let's have a look. Corvus is missing his sword, wasn't he? Oh, and Corvus was missing his. Oh, it says I fixed it. So let's have a look.
At the moment, that looks like a speech bubble.
Oh, thank you very much for fragilities. Okay, so mind you, I have crossed it out, which does almost imply I might have done it, but I can't remember. I've spent the whole day, well, no, after work, obviously, the whole of my after work time, sitting here going, manually copying and pasting one NPC at a time, and then rebuilding the module, trying to work out which NPC is breaking the module because I can't work it out and it's driving me up the wall.
Oh, the ones that are knocking everything to toughness 1 for the sin spawn.
No. That's all fine in the actual module. That's just my computer for some reason will only show sin spawn with toughness 1. You know, anybody else's computer it works fine, just not mine. Yeah, because obviously I'm doing basically I've got a separate Windows. Actually, it's a Windows 11, a virtual machine I run on my Windows 10 box that I do all my development in now to keep it isolated. So I just I have a pure, like I used to use Classic just to develop and Unity to run. Now I can't do that, so I had to change it. So apparently I did do Corvus's gear, but I can't see it. So either I'm lying to myself, or I'm incredibly delusional. I'm not sure which is more worrying of the 2.
Could be both.
Could be both. I personally don't think you really want his equipment, so let's just go on.
No, we'll wait for you, Doswell.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Okay, actually, that's really interesting. So it's there. Have I not reloaded? Have I not updated the module? I think I might not have updated the module. Let's see what we can do. No, please don't wait. I've done a special adventure for today. I'll finish this one first. Okay, right. Here we are. Rule set filter. Come on. Because I thought, why's my computer so slow? It's because someone is connecting. So if I unload burnt offerings, and then what do I do? Right, great. The search has stopped searching for what I asked it to search for and changed searching for something else. Marvellous. Okay, so I got an email today saying, good news, they accepted the copyright claim that I actually did have a license for the music I use on my channel. So I got an email today telling me, yeah, okay, you're right, you've got a license to use it. And then I've just come online to find out the same company, the same people that just told me I have a right to use the music, have just decided I don't have a right to use the music. It's computers for you, isn't it? Because there's no human involvement. Of course, I can't find the documents I saved to prove it all.
So, like, human involvement would automatically make it perfect. You don't hang out with the same humans I do you?
Right. What was I doing? I was trying to update burnt offerings. So let's try an update. See if I have actually built a newer version and just forgotten to download it. No. Oh well. No sword. Go away.
Not very technical, but my advice listening to your computer problems is take off and nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
True.
True. Very true. So I have a situation in that what have I done? I have built a new version and it's not in the module, or I have updated the code, but I've updated the swell file, but not actually put it into the fornicating module. I'm not sure which would be worse of the two. I don't know what happened there. Open with Sublime Text. There we go. Just want to see what's going on, and then I'm going to give up. So images, I don't care about images. Languages, I don't care about languages. Library, reference. So it's going to be in the reference section, not in battles, not in encounters, not in items, not in the ref manual, not in NPCs, not in tables, but in the treasure parcels. Here we go. Gear Goblin Commando, Gear Goblin War Chanter, Gear Goblin with Torch, Gear Corvus. Okay. Oh, so is this I think this might actually be another case of my computer sulking. Which would be really helpful. Items. No, gear. Do you know, I'm getting to the point where I'm losing the will to live with my computer. No one can
replace. Time to replace with an abacus.
I give up. I give up. I can actually see in the XML code the items are there, but does my computer want to show them? No. I really wish someone... No one's got any idea what's going on with this one. It makes no sense at all. I've uninstalled everything and reinstalled it, and this module will basically just not load correctly. Will load correctly on any other computer in the world except mine. So anyway, let's push on. No, there's no magic items here.
That's got to be a registry thing, surely? No?
No, I erased the registry.
Right, well, he's dead.
There's
What
a
next?
door in another hallway down here, guys.
What's down there, Bert?
Well, there's a door in another hallway.
All right. Okay. Well, no bugger else is going. I'll take a look.
Magic sword. You didn't want a magic sword anyway, did you?
I've already got magic sword. It was good for the wanted magic sword. Besides, it was all glowy and red and goblin-y.
True. Right. Let's have a look at it here. So, as you look down the corridor, well, it's a long corridor, really. Sorry, let me unlock tokens. Sorry, there we go. Much easier if I unlock tokens when I'm not looking at what you guys are up to, because I'm still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are all helpless because they're in these pits, or.
Yeah, but shouldn't they die?
Oh, we can take care of them once we take care of everything else. They can't climb out between the lids and the walls. They're stuck.
So not going anywhere.
Now.
And technically, they're dead already.
So this
Which way
twisting
which way
flight
these
of
stairs go?
spiral stairs.
They're zombies. They're only mostly dead.
This twisting flight of stairs once led down, you suspect, to possibly even deeper levels. However, like the other flight of stairs nearby that went up, these ones are blocked.
Look, stairs.
Was
Go
it
down
another
somewhere.
set? Yeah, there was another set of stairs that was blocked.
Basically, yes. Some catastrophe or catastrophe or calamity has caused the things to collapse. And
Might be
Wasn't
worth
there-
telling them.
Wasn't there like a big earthquake here at one point?
Maybe a long time ago.
Well,
I
there's an
reckon
island offshore with a ruin on it, is there not?
Well, don't forget the lighthouse is a ruin.
Aye, and that's kind of above roughly where we are, I reckon. Anyway, if we tell we tell Sheriff about it when he gets back, he can maybe get a crew down here to dig it out.
I don't mean to be weird. I don't mind being weird, says Goodfella. But what's our agenda down here?
Well, we suspect that the goblins were getting into town. Some of them were at least coming through here. Because once they were in the glassworks, and once we cleared out the glassworks, this is when we started following the tunnels down into here.
Aye.
We found
The glass.
Should we go kill the zombies in the pits?
Well, we think the zombies are pretty stuck, so we can take care of the rest of the goblins and then come take care of the zombies.
Make sure there are no more goblins.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Someone opened the door. So this strange room is a 5-yard diameter sphere. Several objects float in the room, spinning lazily in space. A ragged book, a scroll, a bottle of wine, a dead raven surrounded by a halo of floating and writhing maggots, and a twisted iron wand with a forked tip. Yet perhaps the most unnerving aspect of the room is the walls. They're plated in sheets of strange red metal that ripple every once in a while with silent black electricity that seems to coalesce into strange runes or even words far too often for the effect to be chance.
Well, that's disturbing.
Grab Jelsa quick.
You're going to try and grab Jelsa.
Absolutely.
Hasn't run up in there.
Why do you want to grab Jelsa from a room?
Because you need to look. Because this sounds quite dangerous. And it looks quite dangerous. You need to look before you leap, little one.
Well, I haven't gone in there.
You were thinking about it.
Standing right behind you.
You were thinking about it. You thought, "Oh, look at it, pretty."
I'm thinking about it. I'm standing right behind Dondrad, and he's poking in there, telling me not to go in. So I'm going to try to push him into the room.
He's actually behind you, but you can.
Oh, he was ahead of me. Dondrad is ahead of me.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's behind you. No, he's not.
He's behind you.
Oh, yes, he is.
I didn't open the door.
Oh, who opened the door?
Not me. Stopped here, and Rannick's running upstairs, and I already did one stairs, and that turned out to be really boring. So I said, when I turned around, Dondrad was headed this way, so I started following him.
You followed him from in front.
I tried.
I'm not going to argue with.
Well, that's the best way to follow someone. That's why they don't know you're following them when you're in front of them.
That's a very good point, good fella. I couldn't agree more. Okay, Dondrad, it appears you are now in front. Whether you were or not, you are now.
So what's through the door, Stunty, that we've not seen yet?
I don't know. I think a Jelsa might just shove us. For a laugh.
Are you going to shove Dondrad through the door then? Let's have a
I'm going to try. I'm not terribly strong, but I'm going to try.
Dondrad, I think Jelsa's
Maybe
trying to
got
push
by-
you. Let's have an athletics.
I might be somewhat taken by surprise here. Oh no, I'm not.
Oh no! You just dig your dwarven stubbornness in, and you don't get moved at all.
Well, he's
Central
short.
gravity.
He's short, but he's really solid. And like I said, Jelson's what, 36 pounds soaking wet.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, my pocket has 65 pounds of weight in it, and I can't even feel it yet.
So you didn't even notice she pushed you, basically.
No, he doesn't even notice. Don't forget, you can all push past each other.
Well, I'm just going to tell him, are you going to go back? Are you going to go up? Keep going.
No, why is it floating?
I can't actually see past him because he, you know.
Goodfellow's gonna push his way up to the stairwell and go up the stairwell and mutter something about, don't go in the creepy room, dorks.
Okay, you can head down the stairs, but it will basically end pretty much just round the corner in a rockfall, I'm afraid.
So anyway, Irina, why things floating around this room and why's it got crackly walls?
But
I
I'm
don't know,
sure
man,
you
floating.
can find
I lost it at floating maggots.
Crackly. Last year.
I'm going to try and hit the book with the rock if at all possible.
I'll come and have a look.
Let's have an effort. Well, you probably have to get a bit closer so you can see what you're doing, and then by all means stack up. Don't worry. We all know Fantasy Grounds doesn't mind stacking tokens. Thank you.
If you turn into a bird, you can eat those maggots.
For really small maps. Yep, your rock hits the book. The book goes spinning off in a different direction. The rock hits the wall and then bounces off the wall and eventually slows down and floats in the room along with everything else.
Well, I'm
And what about the rock?
That's what I said. It bounced off the walls and ended up floating around with everything else.
I'm going to squeeze up here next to Dondred so I can see what's going on. And I see the rocks aren't, only just making them spin around. Now, I can't use my telekinesis to do harm, but can I try to cast telekinesis to draw the book out of the room?
Yeah, logically speaking, no problem at all. If you don't want to enter the room, yeah, you should be able to use telekinesis to pull it out of the room. Yeah, the whole room's magical, Arena. Every wall of that room glows. But then the fact that everything's floating in there's possibly a giveaway in that regard.
I'm just using the telekinesis cantrip to draw the book out of the room.
That's like looking in Tesco and say, yep, it sells food. I was hoping for more of a detailed description.
If the book starts moving towards you, duck.
Well, don't forget. I mean, don't forget. Oh, I see. Well, yeah, no. Let me have a see. Well, basically, what you definitely pick up is the whole room appears to be laced with a levitation spell. That's what causes that to floated. That's what causes it to float. In the meantime, Jelsa has successfully using telekinesis pulled a book out of the room. And yeah, I shall add the prayer book of Lamashtu to Jelsa's inventory.
Well, I'm not interested in the prayer book. Once I get it out of there, I'm going to take the book, and it was Bert that was interested in getting the book, right?
Yeah, I do want to give the book to Bert. Do you?
Yeah, Lamashtu is nasty.
Okay.
I'm going to give the book. I'm going to give the book to Bert and tell him, "Did you want this?"
Okay, I've just given the book to Bert.
Cool. Bert has a book.
Yeah, Lamashtu is a goddess of sort of chaotic rebirth. And the particularly disturbing thing is she causes mutated pregnancy.
It looked like a cleric-y thing to me, and Joseph's not interested in cleric-y crap.
That still leaves the scroll, the fork-shaped wand, and a buckle floating in there.
Oh, I can get the scroll. Do I need to roll again on the...
Technically speaking, yes, you do. Yeah, technically, because anytime you fail to cast your cantrip, it costs a power point. Okay, no problem at all. You now have a scroll. I'll put it on the. I shall put it in the party sheet.
So when we found the goblins, and one had like a big head and one had 3 arms, and that they're birth defects.
Dead. I say that out loud. Actually, I'll say, "Oh, the raven! It couldn't get out. That's why it's dead." I think the raven flew in there by itself, and the magic held it.
Well, I can't undo the magic, but here and now, and then the scroll I'll hand to Irina because it's magic, and
Not
you know.
that you know this, it's actually a bit more gruesome than that.
Yeah, see, Aurelium, this is like her private bedroom. She could fly, so it was no big deal to her.
Yeah, that's a
Basically,
good call.
The raven is there, so maggots will grow in it, and Aurelium ate the maggots, basically. Not that you'd ever know that, but that's what it is. It's her lunch. Wait, it's her and her dinner and her breakfast.
So it's a god.
I think Bert's absolutely completely correct.
It's her maggot farm.
It's a bedroom, and this is her personal effects.
Lovely.
I mean, she could actually fly in there, go to sleep, and just be floating about in the air.
Levitation is an excellent way to relax, apparently.
That roll was for the scroll.
Oh, the roll was for the scroll. Okay, the scroll roll. The scroll roll. You identify it as a scroll of burning hands. Burst, in other words.
Ah.
So that will be a cone template. So basically, you read the scroll, you sort of fan your fingers out in front of you, and flame will shoot out in a cone template from your fingertips.
By the way, so taking stuff from here and selling it, I don't really have a problem with because we all love gold. But I'm kind of a bit squeamish about taking artifacts of a particularly disgusting religion and selling them.
Well, I'm just pulling them out
because it's quite offensive. You know what I mean?
I'm just pulling them out so you guys can look at them without having to risk going in there and getting caught in some kind of trap or whatever. I really don't care about any of them.
Well, somebody will have some value in it, won't they? I mean, gods is gods, isn't they? I mean,
well, if you look at it this way, if we take it, it keeps it out of the hands of somebody that's worse.
Aye.
But there's no pretty shiny thing, so Joss is going, well, I'll get them so you guys can check them out, but there's nothing in there that really.
So by my reckoning, there's the maggoty raven, the wand, and the bottle, the bottle left.
I'd like to look at the wand, definitely.
So I'll try when they express an interest in it, I will try to pull stuff out that they're interested in. So I will try the telekinesis again for the. We're going for the wand this time.
Please, yep. Okay, using your levitation cantrip, you pull out the wand. I have added it to the party sheet.
I will have a look at that.
I
will spend a penny on it. Okay. Look at that.
Okay, successfully determining magic. You gather this is a wand of shocking grasp. Basically bolt, but with a limitation of touch. It's actually a cattle prod. For all intents and purposes, it's even got the forked end on it, hasn't it? But yeah, so it's a stun gun, basically, a cattle prod type thing. So it's shocking. It's basically in Savage Worlds terms, it's a wand of bolt, but obviously trapping wise, it's shocking grasp and it's got a limitation of touch. So it's a magic wand you actually have to touch the foe with to discharge an electrical bolt into them, basically.
It's a shot club from Sprawl Runners.
It is basically, well, except it does damage rather than stun.
Human, I'd love to test this on.
Okay, that's been identified. They're
Go
both in
test
the
it on one of
party.
the zombies.
Because the zombies aren't trying to get me to go to bed with them.
I've forgotten about that. Might have to have him waiting outside for you. That leaves the raven, the maggoty raven, and the bottle.
So, does anybody want the booze? Jocelyn will drink if other people are drinking. She don't drink just to drink because, well.
Well, if you bring it here, I'll tell you what's in it.
I'll try to bring it out.
Mm-hmm. Critical fail will obviously shatter it. Obviously, no problem at all. Another cantrip cast for no power points required, and you bring out what definitely appears to be a fine bottle of wine.
Well, I won't bother identifying that then because, it's wine.
Indeed, it is not magical in any way, shape, or form. Whoops, I just closed the door by mistake, trying to click on someone. There we go. And click on Jelsa, then unclick on Jelsa. Yeah, well, that appears to be, as far as I can tell.
I might be wrong, but I can't think of anywhere we've not been other than up the block stairs or down the block stairs.
Pretty much.
Unless, there's like more hidden secret doors around.
Actually, I've forgotten how secret doors. How do you search for secret doors?
Hey, Randy, you can take this wine bottle and give it to your girlfriend to thank her for her hospitality at the tavern.
How often do I have to tell thee I haven't got a girlfriend?
You might want to tell her that.
What? You mean you think she... Really? Is the show?
I don't know. You humans and other types are really weird when it comes to that whole relationship stuff. I don't get it. It all looks funny to me. But hey, she was making eyes at you. And she was thanking you when all of us helped.
I tell you what, you're better off with arranged marriages. It just works
I
better.
imagine it would just be notice checks for secret doors, thinking about it.
Gnomes don't do arranged marriage. We don't really, marriage is something that we learned in this world, and we'll every once in a while indulge ourselves because, well, it's different, but it's not something we really give a damn about.
Anything?
Well, don't you do the whole exchanging contracts and then over a 10-year period, and then you have a dowry twice? After all right, you guys don't do that then. Never mind. So much for romance.
They're really into long-term commitment.
Gnomes are all into keeping themselves occupied to avoid the bleaching, aren't they?
Yup. And because we live so long, while we have children, we don't have to have as many because we live a long time. So it's not like the race is going to deplete anytime soon.
What is interesting is I was going for the old Pathfinder companions. I had the D20 ones. And one of them does actually have rules for gnomes that do survive the bleaching, so you can actually play bleached gnomes.
Yeah, that's every gnome's biggest fear. They don't want to become one of those things.
No, indeed not. But I agree. I think you pretty much searched this place, and unless anyone wishes to do anything adventuresome and everything else, we can just take you back above ground to the glass works. And
there's three things that I want to point out / do. One, we want to make sure we kill all these zombies.
We need to put those zombies out of our misery.
Number two, I want to go and check those cells that I walked past before, and I want to see if there's anything interesting in them. And three, if this is how the goblins got in to attack the city, where did they get into here?
Well,
that's what I'm thinking about that.
Hang on. The tunnel that came down here, this was a side tunnel off that tunnel. Didn't that tunnel carry on?
It did, actually, yes. You could explore that side tunnel, I suppose. The main tunnel, rather.
Aye. Maybe we should.
I thought this was the tunnel. I missed it. This is just a little side shot. Okay.
Yeah, as you were going down the other tunnel, you found that evidence that this had been recently unearthed, and that's when you explored it.
Oh, that's right. The other tunnel goes out to the coast, doesn't it?
It doesn't.
Maybe they came in from the coast then.
Maybe they come up up the coast on a boat and then dumped in the beach and then come into the cave. I don't know. So we go out and explore it.
I thought you
Could
found
be.
I thought you found that they. Well, I can't remember. You did find evidence of how they got in, didn't you? In that book. That Susan
Aye.
read.
Yeah, somebody let them in.
Along with those dodgy pencil drawings of that lass that used to be daughter of a priest.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, from a particular perspective, I don't think we really need to worry about you physically killing the zombies, if that makes sense. We'll just, because at the end of the day, they're at the bottom of the pits. You've got quite a lot of magical powers and ranged weapons. So what we will say is, after a short period of time, you extinguish the zombies. At the end of the day, the zombies are there because they're in the bottom of pits for people to get pushed into by Corvus, but Corvus didn't last very long. No one does in Savage Worlds, it would appear. But anyway, so Bert and everyone else, I'm going to be back up there. You have just finished killing all the zombies. It would have been just a pointless exercise in dice rolling, in my opinion, as opposed to trying to save someone after they fell in. So, where do you want to go from there?
Right.
Also, look at it this way: none of you actually had to spend any power points to kill him because I'm nice.
Yeah.
Somebody checked these cells already, correct?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Each one had a skeleton in it. Each one slightly
Okay.
more
Yeah,
disformed
but
than the
so
last.
that's what I'm saying about goblin mutation. Each cell contains a different type of mutation. Lamisher is big on
Okay,
mutations in pregnancy. I know it's really weird, but it's a really weird cultural. God, honest,
Okay.
it's right out there on the fringe of madness.
Aye. That goblin had 3 arms. That were a bit weird.
Skeletons lie in most of the cells. Their bones appear quite rather immaculate, considering this place has probably been bricked up for a long time. But yeah, all you'll find in every single one of them is bones, except for one, which is really interesting. When you, if I may borrow Bert, bring him over here. You can't see it too well with the bars, but actually you've pretty much done the dungeon. So let's turn the line of sight off so you guys can see it easier because you've done the whole map. What I find really fascinating here is also now means you can move through walls without worrying about it. Is there's a hole right there, just beyond it where the wall ends there, and on the actual map in the book, there's like a dotted line. Hang on, let's see if I can get into drawing mode. On the actual adventure, there's like this dotted line, like sort of like this over that, almost implying that that maybe that's another way from the end of the tunnel in. It looks just like that, and there's no explanation anywhere in the module about why there's a white dotted line around that. It's really interesting, I thought.
Yeah.
And I checked, it's in the original Path. I mean, obviously, everything came from the original Pathfinder module. So I have no idea if that was meant to be at one point a way to get into this area or what. I don't know. But anyway. But yes.
Well, it was probably that prisoner's escape tunnel more than anything else.
Possibly. Could well have been. But like I say, I get the impression that there's a couple of times where the artwork and the adventure descriptions don't necessarily exactly
just don't line up. Yeah,
which is obviously I think things have changed. You know, the artwork's done and then something gets tweaked or changed later on. I don't know. But anyway,
that's actually something I've noticed in a lot of Pathfinder stuff. Is the art and the description don't always line up.
But yeah, one of the really interesting ones is one I was changing around today. It's in book 4, so it's a way off for you guys. But the description of the encounter is completely different to the map they've set up. Well, not the map, but the area they've set up for it, and like also the way that it's set up in the original Pathfinder module, because he's done it almost using the map that they've shown there. Doesn't make sense at all because the bad guys are on the wrong side of the river and they're nowhere near whatever they're meant to be doing. So I did spend a fair bit of time yesterday basically drawing roofs on lots of houses. So but anyway, that's by the by. So, well, congratulations. I do believe you already got your reward when you defeated Illyrium way back in the cathedral, but you have completed the dungeon that has never made me so angry in all my life at how many times it just didn't want to work for me with the line of sight.
Oh, so with the Dungeon of Wrath made you angry. Dun, dun, dun.
I know. The irony is not lost on me that the Dungeon of Wrath has caused me wound me up so much it's unbelievable. But I'm almost at the point where I'm tempted to just erase Windows and reinstall it in a desperate attempt to get the module working. But I'm not going to do that because something's bound not to work, and then I won't have a computer for a while. So I'm not going to risk it. So, anyhow, I think
we need to tell the mayor what's down here and make sure no other bugger comes down here until the sheriff gets here, and we need to tell the sheriff about their stairs.
Sensible.
Very sensible. Now, don't forget, there's a scroll, a wand, and a bottle of wine in the party sheet waiting for people to steal them.
Yes, I'll certainly take the wand.
Well, I believe Jels has already forced the bottle of wine onto Rannick to give to his girlfriend.
Okay. That just leaves a scroll of burning hands.
So I'm still carrying an unidentified item.
What?
Let's identify it then.
I think we did last week. I can't remember what it was.
Okay, there you go. I think
A collection of wands. I best not accidentally use the one of shocking grasp instead of the one of healing.
They all look slightly different, don't they?
Yes, they do.
I managed to get my chair arm stuck under the table there. That was interesting. Okay, so.
Yeah, so what was Donrad's unidentified item?
I've just identified it for you. It was the scroll of flaming sphere.
Scroll of Vindaloo.
Selective flaming sphere, in fact.
Right.
Okay, so you've done the catacombs. You've successfully done that. I'm not entirely sure when the sheriff comes back, actually, but we'll worry about that in a bit. In the meantime, we shall have a. Actually, it fits in rather nicely, and it was written as a side quest for this adventure, so I decided that we'd put it in because I was getting wound up by this module not working, and I just wanted to see if I could create another module that would also not work on my computer, which I haven't tested yet, so that could be interesting. We'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. So basically, yes, you get back outside and you talk to the mayor, and that some guards are sort of put underneath, sort of around the glassworks to keep people out and everything else. Oh, you wanted to head down? Did you want to check out the other end of that tunnel? Sorry, I shall. Glassworks. Where's the glassworks? Map of the glassworks. Tunnel. Okay, so the secret door that opens to 12-foot-5 cave. The cave mouth slopes down to a narrow beach. No survivor roll is required to note the crude collection of goblin beds or remnants of their meals strewed about the cave down on the beach.
Think goblins came from here then?
Seems likely.
But how did they get on the beach today?
Well, I'm guessing they either swam or came by boat. I think boat's more likely.
But it's a beach, so you could always walk to a beach from along somewhere else along the headland, can't you? So it's just they were obviously camped out and massed in this cave by the beach, and then they came up the tunnel as part of the attack. So there you go. But anyway,
we'll have to tell the sheriff he's got a hole in his security then.
Indeed. The citizens of Sandpoint have started reclaiming their lives after a vicious goblin attack left so many townsfolk dead and injured. On the hills of the disastrous Swallowtail Festival, the town sage, an old man named Broderick Quint, expressed concern for his only niece, an idealistic girl named Lucendi, who apparently joined a group of explorers to search for Thessalonian ruins near the Raven Roost Hills. Worried the same goblins may have overrun the expedition, Quink has offered to pay anyone who can assure her safe return. Obviously, after a while, this hasn't done any good. So now, basically, with Sheriff Bellor and his local militia out of town, Quint has been unable to find anyone, and so he's come to you and has asked you to please look for his niece, offering 100 gold pieces to each of you if you can bring his niece back to him alive. Or dead, actually, but obviously he'd rather her. It's not a dead or alive thing, but he just wants her back. Either way, it's not the not knowing is worse. But if you could bring his niece
we
back.
can go look for her. Here, see this big pig sticker here, says Rannick, showing him the rancia that we ripped out of the statue. Reckon that's worth anything?
That's a very good question.
But the rancer's really, really well. I don't know, it's not magical, but it's really well made.
Wasn't it? It was really well made.
Yeah, it's really well made. Can you not tell? It's got tempered steel on both sides.
It was masterwork, and it was part of that statue. It was all ornate and covered in gold and sigils and stuff.
Yeah, basically, it's probably worth at least 400 gold. You'll get at least 200. You'll definitely get 200 for it. If you want to get more than that, you'll probably have to persuade someone. But yeah, it's worth a fair bit.
Well, it's a bit heavy, so I want to offload this before we go look for your niece. But we'll go straight away. Other than that, unless other people got things to sell.
Well, yeah. If anyone's got things to sell, dump them in back into the party sheet. We can flog them off. Obviously, you've got a bit of a problem. You won't be able to go to the general store because Ven Vinder basically has refused entry to any of you since the good fella was caught half undressing his daughter.
Was he? When did that happen?
Don't you remember?
Oh, because Goodfella told us he was having a religious experience, and we don't know that actually happened.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Apparently, you're basically any time you try to approach his store, he basically shouts at you and screams at you to get out. Does anyone want this scroll of burning hands, or do you want to sell it?
If nobody, let's sell it. We could do with some extra money.
I'll take it.
Dondrad's taken the rancia.
But it's not that heavy.
I'll give it to Goodfella then. Goodfella can have the scroll, and then no one needs to sell anything.
Yeah, if you want the rancia, you can have it then.
So what I was going to do was, go to that thing. Let's put nonsense in it. I am not wearing a tiara.
It would look perfectly fine.
Right, it would have a certain something for thee.
That's getting smashed before it gets sold. Might depreciate the value, but I really don't care.
Tiara, anything to you?
Come on, let me pick it up.
Why would you let me pick? I'm sure there's a jeweler in town. There's the guide to Verissa.
Yep, so the holy symbol can get a wee bit broken and mashed before it gets sold, because I'm just like that and I'm in that mood. I can tolerate Twelve and the Old Father and all that, but not Lamshin.
What?
Not Lamash too.
No.
Okay, anything else to be sold?
Snoring. Uh-huh.
You falling asleep?
Sounds like it.
I think we need to mute him.
We might have to. About that dull GM today. Anyway,
I
where were we?
Yeah, he's just always like that.
I'm not complaining. Okay.
No, if you want to keep that pig sticker, Dundrad, you're welcome to it.
Well, I actually don't know. I'm looking at it now. It's just. Do you know what it is? I'll be perfectly honest. It's made of steel. And it's a weapon, so it's got religious significance.
Aye, but who for?
It doesn't matter. It's made of steel. It's a weapon. It's got religious significance. That's it.
And you reckon Lamashtu's weird?
So I've got to decide what I need to do with it. It's very. I suppose it is quite bulky, isn't it?
You could always mount it in your room. I mean, if it's that significant to you, then it needs a place of honor, right?
Aye.
The trouble is, I don't know. It's a weapon of an enemy, though, isn't it?
Well, it was a weapon stuck in a statue. I'm not sure it was exactly an enemy.
It's a long story. How many centuries have you got?
Not many, really. Farmer Brown told me most our folks are dead by the time they're 40.
You don't you get past your bar mitzvah? Ridiculous.
I can get in a bar, no problem.
Okay. I am going to sell those items, and there you go. You get 9 gold pieces each. Aren't we lucky?
Oh,
Yeah, you're rich, people. You're rich. Okay. So basically, I have to.
I just need a copy of this.
It's quite interesting. Obviously, can I? Okay, if you, Roderick Quint, being quite knowledgeable, passes you the information that Lucinda you basically got off him to find a possible location, and basically following the directions you're given, you head out to Raven Roost Hills. I'm not going to worry too much about a map there. And after about half a day exploring, you come across what appears to be a camp. The steep footpath levels off as it opens onto a high plateau overlooking the ravine below. A large tent lies pitched to the east, across from the western tree line and back against a sharply slanted cliffside. To the north, a massive time-worn statue of a figure dressed in an ornate robes and holding an open book stands chiselled from the natural rock of the hillside. A wooden scaffold and ladder stand next to it, while a dark passageway smashed into the rock lies open to its right.
Da, da, da. Sorry,
Well-
felt like I needed that.
I'm guessing this would be the place.
Certainly seems appropriately. Oh, it's not empty.
It is not empty. So I was just about to put those in. As you start approaching, you hear some noises from ahead, and basically it sounds like you recognise the shouting as a sort of definitely get the impression it's goblin.
Are they saying anything in particular?
We'll bend it, we will mix it, we will smash it on you.
Oh, sorry to say this, Bert, Irina. Apparently they're eating a dog. I expect that's going to make you two angry. There we go.
Yes. Draw cards.
Draw cards. it
Yeah,
is.
too right. Draw cards.
Right, wait, so what we burbling about?
Raddick.
The goblins are eating a dog. Bert and Irina have got angry. You wouldn't like them when they're angry.
You're hungry. I wouldn't like you if you're hungry.
Angry.
I'm losing.
Angry. Either one will do. Right.
I don't know where he says, but it lost a lot in translation. That's double ticket. Anyway,
I don't know if Bert's angry enough to want to get higher than a 5 of clubs, by the way.
Well, unfortunately, that's part of his quirks. Is yeah, he may get angry, but he has to build himself up to that point. He's slow, so he's got
Oh, he's
to
hesitant. Yes, sorry.
or hesitant rather. Yeah, I've got to like. Yes, it's okay to be angry this time. It's okay to. So 5 works.
He's just seized for a little while before he gets going.
Okay. So the
Whereas
goblins
Run-
yelp in shock as you come emerging up the plateau straight towards them. It's that sword again. However, you fail to notice that they appear to have rigged up a small set of tripwires around the place, which they didn't until you critically failed.
Yep.
And you suddenly basically, and just as you go charging in and the goblins yelp in shock and fear, you basically trip over one and find yourself prone and slightly distracted, I think, is reasonable, don't you? As you go plummeting to the ground instead of looking all dramatic and killing goblins.
So, Ranix charges forward, shouting, "Booyah! Oh, bugger!" and then face plants next to the fire.
Move. Okay.
You big clumsy oaf. So I didn't see the tripwires.
I'm going
Believe
to go
me,
there.
most of you will probably miraculously, everyone else will probably miss the tripwires that just happen to be there for Rannick.
Rannick's shown them all where they are. In fact, Rannick's probably ripped them all up when he fell over.
Yeah, probably has. Yeah, he probably tore them out the ground. Okay, Arena goes charging in, it looks like, as well.
Yes, I am. I am going to lean as I run in. I'm going to spin around, swinging my katana blade at 1. If I double attack, it's -1, right?
-2.
-2. Okay.
Just turn on
I'm
2
going to swing.
actions.
These 2. Okay, hold on. No, not that. I'm going to swing my katana blade at one of them, and I'm going to possibly Benny that. Never mind. And I'm going to, as I'm spinning and hitting that one in the head with the blade, or trying to, I'm going to kick the Goblin 4 into the fire.
Okay.
Which should be.
Reset the planet again.
Sorry about that. Remind me how to do push strength.
Suppose strength -2 or athletics.
At -2.
You've moved at least 2 inches, so you get to add +2 to your total.
So it'd either be a straight strength or athletics at +2.
No. Yeah.
Okay. I can do better than that.
Hang on. Actually, it looks like it's pure strength now. It's not athletics in this.
Is it not athletics in Pathfinder?
Sometimes a character who wants to push a foe in hopes of knocking him out permission. Pushing a foe is an opposed roll of strength.
Oh.
If the attacker is successful, he pushes the foe back 1 inch or twice that with a raise. A character who successfully pushed must make an athletics roll at -2 if the attacker got a raise or be knocked prone. So it's actually pure strength to push. So I'm afraid you're obviously so angry that you're basically a bit you're almost a bit too angry, if that makes sense, because you go charging in, screaming and shouting your rage and horror at what they're doing, and as you basically madly hack at the first goblin with your katana, it's desperately parrying every blow. And as you try and push the second goblin out the way, it just ducks to the side at the very last second, giggling insanely at you.
Oh, it's giggled at me. Oh, that's not going to be good.
In fact,
Amber is going to come here and is going to. Well, actually, I'll decide exactly what Amber's going to do once I've looked at Amber's stats.
Go the Goblin Commando instead. Okay, Amber's going to there, yeah. Actually, I forgot how much I hate go away from it.
Distracted.
I wanted it to be around. Is it supposed to hold on a moment?
It doesn't have fighting. It's got a D4 and -2. It doesn't have fighting.
He's more about tests and stuff with his athletics. And
Yeah, I
stuff,
wanted him to intimidate, but I'm trying to work out what I'd roll for that. I wanted him to growl. Her to growl, sorry.
Well, that'd be an unskilled intimidation roll then, basically.
Okay.
I mean, goblins. Don't forget, goblins don't like animals. So he's in his own right. He'll put them off. He'll make them uneasy.
To me, Amber seems incredibly adorable. As it instead of a nice big throaty, it's more of
Exactly. I think so too. Jelsa.
Yeah, Rannick's just sprawled out here on the ground in front of 6 and next to him. Well, Jelsa, is just going to go running right up on top of Rannick because she can.
What you're doing, Sparkle Tips?
Killing goblins. Wow. No, I'm going to Benny that one time.
These goblins seem to be quite good at defending, it would appear.
Wow, I guess. And then she's jumping from the top of his head. She's gonna jump over here next to him.
Okay.
Well, you winded me. Oh.
Right, so this.
Well, you're laying around instead of fighting.
This goblin over here is going to fire his. Oh, who am I going to shoot? I'm going to shoot. Well, goblins don't like animals, so I'm going to shoot Snookums, I'm afraid. Missing. Thank goodness. And goblin number 4 is going to use the dog slicer on Rannick as he's lying there prone, grinning evilly as he stabs downwards with the dog slicer. But Rannick's obviously toughness 12. Heck, have you got toughness 12, sir?
By being really tough.
Yeah, I gather that. The other one, the next goblin slashes with a dog slicer at Rena to have no real effect. And this one over here basically turns as Jelsa comes spinning through the air and slices with the dog slicer, hitting Jelsa just as she lands. But basically Jelsa's not phased and her armor protects her, and that brings us to Dondrad.
Let's go a bit mental. So how does this thing work again? We run at them and stab the pair of them.
The pair of them? You mean the Rannick and the goblin?
There are 4 of them.
I know, but he ran up to doesn't.
well, that it's a bit wobbly, isn't it?
Oh, the Ransroar.
But it does have reach.
It is a bit wobbly.
It does have reach, yes, of course, yeah. So he can actually hit 2 goblins. I didn't notice he was using the Ransroar to miss both goblins. But anyway,
these things.
Yeah, I've got to get the hang of this thing, but it's interesting.
That brings us to Bert.
Okay, now that you guys have all run up there and distracted them really well, I'm going to actually start taking care of them for you.
I've got Bert.
That's the right speed line for a total double 1.
Indeed.
Of course it is. Of course it is. We're going to start by shooting number 4.
Okay. I saw the
Thought
one, but there's an 8 in there somewhere. Okay, you are going to skewer goblin number 4. Do I feel inclined to try and soak that? I think I will. These goblins seem to be giving... No. I was going to say, these goblins seem to be giving you problems, but not anymore. Okay, you skewer goblin number 4, and he clutches his chest and claps.
Snookums is going to come up here and frenzy wild attack.
Okie dokie. Oh. Is pounce on?
It is.
We're going to try and hit both 3 and 5 is what our hope is.
Yeah. No, because obviously don't forget. Yeah. Oh, if she's wild attacking, she always pounces, doesn't she? So pounce should be.
Yeah, that's part of the. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Go for it. Okay, so Snookums, I think, has hit the first one. Oh, didn't target.
Oops, forgot to
That's
target.
okay.
My bad.
That's okay. They're both going to be hit. So a 17 will target goblin number 3, and a 7 will hit goblin number 5. And yeah, it's still not doing tweet. It's interesting. It's not targeting. Oh, it is now. Go for it. Roll the
Yeah, I
damage.
targeted.
Yeah, but in the old days, if I dragged the attacks on it, it would target them. Okay, well, I think that may well have killed one of the goblins. 20 points of damage, 3 wounds. Okay. Okay, that's basically 2 more dead goblins. Was there, wasn't he? I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there either.
Okay, and that brings us to Goodfella. Are you with us, Goodfella?
I am.
Right, well, 3 of the 4 goblins have been put down. Rannick's lying face down, caught up in a nest of tripwires, and it's over to you. This last goblin's panicking and looking around. Looks like he's desperately trying to escape at the moment.
I will throw my net upon him.
You will throw your net upon the remaining goblin. Go for it. Make your athletics roll. I'd love to know why it thinks that. Oh, because you rolled athletics rather than the target, but that doesn't matter. That's not a problem. So Sleek Scale Goblin is entangled by your net, by your successful net throw. Okay, that brings us to the second round. Can I have notice checks from people, please?
Well, hey.
No, Rannick's got his face in the ground and clearly can't see a thing.
Indeed. You could definitely hear. Now the goblins around here are a bit quieter. What you could hear is coming from inside the tent. You could definitely hear the sounds of goblins giggling in that very disturbing way that goblins can do it, and also cries of pain that don't sound goblin. Jelsa. And this goblin's under a net, of course.
And he's under a net, so he's busy. So Jelsa hears this because she got a really good. So I go over and peek in the tent.
Okay. I'll probably have to just. Oh no, you're fine there. What you find is 2 goblins inside the tent appeared to be torturing someone that's dressed as a guard. Not a town, a guard.
Well, I had one more step left, so I'm going to go in and stab one of the goblins.
Okay.
Or try.
The goblins will attempt to come off hold as you burst in on them. I shall do a group athletics roll for both of them. Getting a 7 and a 3, so one of them won't get to interrupt you, but you'll need to make an athletics check to see if the one of the goblins gets to act before you do, and the answer to that is yes. Okay, so what happens here is, I'm afraid, is the second goblin, as you step in, grins, laughs and says something that you don't understand, swings at you with his dog slicer, misses completely, yelps in shock and horror that he's missed you completely, and scoots out the back of the tent. But leaving the other goblin with you to be targeted as you wish.
Well, I can't. The goblin token disappeared, but I can see.
Yeah, I noticed. I got rid of the wrong goblin. Sorry. There you go. I want to split the group. There we go. You hit the goblin. Ooh,
Well, that sucked for damage.
that's quite appalling damage. Dondrad.
So I've heard the giggling. I assume that somebody's been talked to somewhere around. So I take it there's only one goblin, and Jelser's dealing with him.
As far as you know.
Trying. And if you come in, I'll yell, another one went out the back of the tent.
Right, so because I'm at that case, I was going to help him up, but hey, there's got a chance of combat here. Can I peek through the back of the tent to see if I can actually see what Chelsea's just told me?
As you peek through the back of the tent,
Just make it.
you inside the pit. I think just inside. There you go. As you peek out the back of the tent.
Well, he's quite fast, but hey, let's give it a crack. Stay still, you little bugger.
You hit him. You shake him. But
Okay, Bert heard somebody say something about running out the back of the tent. So Bert is going to also run, but he's going to run alongside the tent. Plenty far enough. And he will also shoot this guy trying to run away.
okay. Okay, that's the end of that goblin. Skewered. The goblin falls face down into the ground.
Where the hell did Bert come from? Because you guys can really shift if you want to, can't you?
We're a little on the speedy side, yeah.
Takes me a fortnight to get up to working pace.
Snookums will come in and help Jelsa finish off this last goblin in here.
Okay. You like the way I put a pit inside the tent that you can move in and out of, but it means when you're inside the tent, you can't see outside the tent.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That was a trick from watching Joshua the other day.
It was a pit, was it not?
It's a pit, but you can now make pits not block movement, so they just act as line of sight blockers. So you're inside a tent, you can't see out of the tent unless you stick your head out the tent. I thought that worked rather well. Stuckums on a 4 will have missed.
Okay. Well, that happens. It should have been 5s because of the gang up, but for some reason it's not letting me target properly. And
that's okay. But it still would have been a miss anyway. So
yeah.
Okay. Okay. An arrow flies out of the air somewhere and narrowly misses Rannick, even though he's lying prone on the ground. I still managed to roll a minus.
Did I see what direction the arrow came from?
Sorry, that was the wrong goblin. That was the entangled goblin. I got confused. No arrow came from anywhere. That was the goblin that was trapped. GM is cheating. GM is cheating. But yeah, it came from that. When it came from up there.
Up there.
Goblin is not escaping arena.
Did I see where an arrow came from?
Well, technically it hasn't come yet, but make a notice check.
Oh. I noticed the absence of an arrow.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't notice it because it's not there.
Indeed. I'm afraid you have no idea where the goblin is, even though the arrow that hasn't come yet has already been fired once.
Wow, that sentence is fantastic. Okay, I am going to pick up a piece of slate light, like rock, stone, whatever, something relatively flat.
Yep.
And I'm going to push it into the edge of the embers of the fire and flick them into the face of this goblin number 6.
Okie dokie. Where are you? You are there. That's going to cancel that out, I think. Okay.
I'll have to move to there to do it, so there's not, so I'm doing it in a straight line.
Okay. So that's a test, is that?
Yeah, it is. I have no idea what you'd like me to roll for that. Athletics or intimidation, or I don't know. What do you want me to roll?
It's a good one, isn't it?
Agility for not burning myself.
It sounds like athletics to me.
It does sound like athletics to me.
Okie dokie. And again, I'm going to Benny that. Hey! That should do it. I think I might have got him in the eye.
Yeah, you did. Yes, you certainly did. You basically make him vulnerable and also basically cause him to lose his entire next turn. Which I really just noticed is you can actually drag the word setback from the test and drop it into the combat tracker. That's rather nice. So,
Cool.
Yeah. So, you basically cause complete loss of the goblin's next turn. Amber.
It's a girl fox. I think Amber's going to come round here and just look at the goblin and go.
Okie dokie. Good fella. You have trapped a goblin under a net. Arena's flicking burning embers into its eyes, and the goblin's very upset by that. And Arena's fox is barking at it.
I'm going to scoop it up. Like pull the net up.
Yep.
Twirl it around so like it's bagged. It's bagged in the net.
Yep.
And I'm going to say in Goblin, calm down, little fella. You may live to see the dawn.
Ooh, okie dokie. We'll see what happens there. Now, do you remember that arrow that you couldn't see earlier?
Yeah.
It's
I'll see it
happening now. It lands next to Rannick's head. Right next to him, just very, very close. It came.
I think I'm going to... Next chance I get, I'm going to help Rannick up.
Rannick.
Rannick at this point is going to stand up and say, well, that was bloody embarrassing.
It was like that dragon all over again.
Aye. Can I see where this goblin that shot at me is?
Yeah, make a notice check.
We should nickname him Rannick Slick Shoes.
Mm.
Rannick Stumblefoot.
So?
That's a good goblin, or a good...
You didn't actually shake it. You didn't actually shake him. I'm not sure why.
He nicknamed you.
So is he on top of this wooden platform thing?
He is, indeed he is.
Right. Since Goodfellas got that goblin bundled up in a net, Rannick would like to charge one corner of that platform, because presumably it's a high platform, and
take out support.
Use his shield and slam into it to try and take the support out.
20 feet. Yeah. Oh.
Sounds like a breaking things attempt.
Does to me. I was just thinking that myself.
I really wish
what do you want? Unarmed damage?
I think that sounds reasonable to me.
Okay, unarmed damage it is.
And breaking things, it's thin wooden door. Yep. Even ignoring the 10, because obviously it can't explode, that means you got 8 points of damage, which is enough.
So that should collapse and bring the goblin 20 feet down. Isn't that 2d6 plus 2 damage?
It is 2d6 plus 2 damage, which is what I was typing.
Marvellous.
So the goblin comes crashing to the ground and not taking any damage at all, because I don't know why. Oh, well, basically the goblin lands on his head. There's a snap.
Nice one.
Teach you to shoot at me, you bugger.
I kind of half expected it to bounce and be okay.
So did I, but no, he basically fell with
Can it
incapacitation.
watermelon out of a block of flats?
Okay, so next round, Arena gets to go first.
Cool. Okay. Am I aware of any enemies? Have I heard any other ones?
Not that you are aware of, no.
Where was was Goblin 6 one of the ones that was eating the dog?
Yes, but Goblin 6 is currently all trussed up, and Goodfellas talking to him in Goblin.
I know that, but I'm really angry, so I'm going to come around here and stab him through the net.
I'm going to swat her if she does that.
Does this make it opposed?
Yeah, I was just testing who could understand Goblin. So, I'm going to say, you're going to try and stab it. You're going to swat her, did you say, Goodfella, or are you just going to try and swing the Goblin out the way?
I'm going to swing that goblin out of the way. Like a trussed up turkey.
I'm going to say we'll have fighting opposed by athletics.
You're probably going to succeed with that roll.
Yes. Well, in fact, it basically is. It's a failure on the opposed, but it only depends if Goodfella succeeds, which he does. So yeah, Goodfella basically swings the net away as Arena tries to stab the goblin. What's Amber up to?
I'm tempted to have her do something mean to Goodfella's nuts, but I don't think I will. I think Amber is going to run over here, and is that where the tent entrance is?
Anywhere along the tent entrance is anywhere along the whole length of the tent.
And poke her head under to see what's going on in there.
Okay. It seems to be quite goblin-y, catty, gnomey carnage. Okay, this goblin is really confused. He's set back. Oh, he's set back, so he loses his. That's all he does. He just stands there, yabbering and screaming as Arena came towards him, and then relief on his face as Goodfellas swings him out the way. Jelsa. Oh! Okay, let me see now. Jelsa, you are distracted and prone.
And there's a foot flicking your face.
That's Amber's fault, isn't it?
It is.
Did you just hit a tent support and start to bring this thing down on top of us?
The entire tent's just come down on anyone inside the tent, basically. Yes.
So that's everybody in the tent distracted then.
And prone, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the tent's literally collapsed on top of you all. So yeah. So Jelsa basically, Delsa, Jondrad, Snookums, the tent collapses down on top of you, leaving you all distracted and prone. Dondrad.
Oh, what the hell?
Let's put you back inside the tent so you can't see outside.
Is that goblin still in here somewhere?
Actually, yes, the goblin's also distracted and prone. The goblin is also in here somewhere, yes.
Right, he's going to get up to mischief. Let's crawl over him. He's not that far, surely.
Okay. You crawl over to there.
I've seen cartoons like this in my childhood.
Yeah, today has been. I have missed the. This feels more like a game of the after the amount of critical failures we've had today.
Thankfully, nothing's making our weapons ooze and eat each other and stuff.
Indeed.
Right, guard, we'll get to you eventually. Don't panic.
Until I come up with a magic item that does that. Actually, one thing I've noticed is there's no cursed items in Pathfinder for Savage Worlds yet.
Yet.
I can't. I was going to try and choke him with the bar of the Warhammer, but I can't find it, bugger.
Rannick, you basically sort of extricate yourself from the collapsing scaffolding.
Rannick's going to
which I will now basically turn off because it's no longer there, casting shadow.
Rannick will use his shield arm because the shield's strapped to the back of his arm, because it's a small shield, hold his hand out to Arena and say, "Now calm down, lass," and then turn to Goodfella and say, "If they don't mind, sheath his sword and grab the dog slicer off the entangled goblin."
Okie dokie. Go for it.
Is that a disarm attempt then?
I'd say that's a disarm attempt. Yeah. Well, actually, no. I'm going to say it's more athletics, isn't it? Because you're trying just to grab something off an entangled goblin. So just make an athletics roll. And yep, no problem at all. You grab the dog slicer off the goblin.
That's me.
I'm also going to say, actually, given after all of this, the goblin's well and truly bound. Okay, sleek scale goblin number 2 is basically prone, distracted, and stuck inside a tent. He's still yelling and screaming and stabbing at Jelsa. Missing, I suspect. It's just the Bert. Bert, the entire tent to the left of you has collapsed.
Yes, I see that. Bert is not real sure exactly what to do, so he is going to just kind of circle around the tent a little bit.
Okay.
He hears Snookums yowling, so I am actually going to aid Snookums in getting out from under the tent.
Okay, you could you could basically pull Snookums out from underneath the tent. Sounds good to me.
Cut a hole in it.
Yeah, exactly. Just cut a hole in the tent. Okay. Snookums.
Snookums is going to back out of the tent and kind of glare around at people. I mean, what the hell were you doing? Trying to throw a blanket on top of me kind of look.
And then go quietly wash himself in the corner somewhere.
Yeah. And then probably just sit over here and just like, you know what? Fine. You want to play under the covers? Go play under the covers.
Very much so. Although it has to be said, actually, it's a cat, and now it's looking on top of things moving up that it can't see underneath. That's usually yeah,
that'll be once he's done being upset.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I understand completely. Good fella. Okay, you've got a goblin in your net, and the goblin's well and truly bound up now. So as long as Arena doesn't stab him, you've got a goblin prisoner.
All right, so I'm gonna hoist him up so Arena can't kill him.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say soothing words to him in Goblin.
Okay. Do you know, I'm fairly confident that sentence is an oxymoron.
Yeah.
But anyway. For those who don't speak Goblin, Goodfella actually said soothing words.
Right.
Not any smoothing. Literally soothing words. So I misunderstood completely. And I'm definitely going to have to give you a bit for that one. I like that. So the Goblin is, well, I think pretty much the chaos and carnage will continue under the tent. Dondrad, you're still prone at the moment.
Yeah.
You're under the
tent. You got a tent on top of you.
Indeed.
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to move. I'm going to need to use my movement to try and stand up a wee bit because I want to swing on it.
Well, you can't stand up while you're inside the tent. You'll have to sort of crawl outside of the tent.
You could go on hold and wait and see what Jelsa's going to do. I might be able to undo this.
You could, if you want to stand up, you'd have to cut yourself loose from the tent, which would obviously be an action.
No, I'm going to have a hissy fit, aren't I? Because that's me. I don't want to run. I don't want to run. That's a bad idea. I'm going to multi-action. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to multi-action. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a hole in the tent.
Okay.
Because this is not sensible martial combat. Making a mockery of armed combat here. So what we will roll to cut through it.
Well, don't worry, you can cut through it as long as you've got a blaze. You can cut through the tent. You've got a dagger, I'm sure, haven't you?
And then so we'll cut through it, stand up, and then we will squish the sleek scale goblin In fact, you know what? Let's just. I'm sure if we whack enough lumps, we'll finally hit the right one.
Are you going wild on him then?
Do you know what he is? He's just upsetting me.
Yep. Go for it. Wild attack is turned on. Hit that poor little prone goblin.
Right. So let's play whack-a-mole.
You hit.
It's supposed to stand up and fight. It's supposed to be clanking sounds and stuff like that. Because that doesn't please Iron God, does it? You know, fighting under a blanket.
Okie dokie. Well, for all intents and purposes, combat is over at this point because you've defeated everything. But I'm intrigued to see how we're going to get out of this tent. So I'm going to.
If we finish the fight in tents and purposes, what about the fight out tents and purposes?
Why is there still a goblin alive?
It was so bad, Rannick, nobody got it.
Because we're going to ask him questions. Have you not got the thing where, you know, the people that might have done the bad thing, if we ask them what bad thing they've done or who they've done it to or where the people we're trying to rescue are, maybe they can tell us and it makes it a lot easier and we don't have to, you know, get stuck in traps or get shot by people that are ridden around or stuff like that. You can... Never mind. Shut up, Stunty.
I mean, I don't understand the principle. In the principle wars, is you start to everybody's dead. You know, I mean, you don't stop half time for oranges, do you? Taking prisoners and malarkeys.
You did say oranges there, not orgies, didn't you?
No, that's the other dwarven ceremony. We won't go into that. It doesn't translate very well.
If you want to talk to it, talk to it. But afterwards, kill it.
Okie dokie. Everyone, I'm getting everyone outside of the tent, including a human guard who apparently is named Herc Bostil. And he thanks you for saving him.
Yeah, good job saving that guy. I'm sure that was on the top of your list, you rabble.
Back here behind the tent, that kind of looks like a little narrow passage right there. Is that a passage or is that just where art happened?
I think it's just where art happened.
Okay.
How much time you got? Is this card okay? Can he walk okay?
Right. So,
Rannick asked the god with a question.
He did indeed. For Jelsa and Arena's purposes, a pile of rubble lies along the ground just inside this dark passage, which you've stepped over. Just inside the apparently smashed free from a stone slab meant to seal the way. You basically find yourself staring at, well, basically there seems to be a sort of some bars here. However, I do believe, contrary to what I actually believed at the time, all passage were several digging tools lie among the rubble. Past the smashed door, a flight of steps descend 10 feet before reaching a barred gate. As I say, it's a barred gate where Jilsa and Arena are right now. In the meantime, Rannick says, "Oh, okay. Rannick is asking the goblin questions, and the goblin will be answering."
Am I supposed to be able to open that gate?
Yeah, it should be. It shouldn't be locked.
Cool.
So you should be able to just open it and step inside. So the smell of the damp earth fills this 40-foot wide circular chamber, no doubt caused by the water trickling in from the collapsed rocks to the north. 4 small alcoves face each other around the room's perimeter, and 3 circular pits surround a smaller version of the same statue from outside the ruin. However, what you also discover, although I suspect what happens is they were sort of I'm going to say they were obviously concealing themselves in the shadows until they heard the gate opening and then advance into the open, grinning evilly as you enter.
Excellent. Something to kill. I'm
Indeed.
all angry and stuff.
Okay.
Who was it that mentioned the half-time oranges? Was that Bert?
That was Dondrad.
Dondrad. Dondrad, something for you to do over here.
So we bless someday, bless our existence.
Something for him to do? Is that half-time orgies?
You need your mind cleaning out with soap.
I suppose, and aren't you? Don't you believe that the Iron Lord is actually half orc? I don't get into the whole
you might be going first.
schism, no schism of race.
I can't beat the Ace of Spades except by getting a Joker, so Arena's going first.
Using a wild attack, I want to cut that little bar steward in half.
Okay. Abilities. I want to put something on him very, very quickly before you cut him in half. There we go. Why, you hit him. And
Arena is very angry.
Arena is very, very angry. 2 wounds on him. I don't think that's going to make... Okay, so down he goes. He's bleeding out. That goblin just goes down and is bleeding out instantly.
Very weird. You see that? No, weird.
Rannick.
Oh, bugger. Rannick will run in that way. Since I'm not at the bottom of the stairs, can I actually see down into the cave?
Technically, I should have put. I technically should have put something there, shouldn't I? So what I really should have done was.
You could have tripped him with. Oh, I see you're up from your nap, big guy.
I should have done something like that, shouldn't I?
Aye.
So
right, that's what Rannick does.
Yeah. So because it's obviously going down. Yeah, I think that works, doesn't it? That blocks line of sight until you get there. I think. Yeah. Which is what I should have done. I will remember that trick in future. The guard. Well, the guard's actually feeling that he really ought to help, so he's going to come running. He's going to come running in and get to right. Well, he's just going to get to there and possibly end up being in the array of everyone because that's what NPCs are good for, isn't it? Okay, time for the baddie. So now this I've got to read up because this I believe is.
And its squiggliness looks like it's been made by H.P. Lovecraft.
It's a snake with a goblin's head.
Lovely. Close up, it kind of looks a little bit like a Chinese dragon.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say. Oh, yes. Ooh. Yeah, I think so. Basically, Arena, as you sort of stare at it, it starts weaving from side to side and hissing sibilantly.
Just in me.
Some people have been watching too much Disney. Is that Robin Hood? Or is it... No, that's going to be Jungle Book, isn't it? Jungle Book.
And I've not seen that in about a decade. Or a little less. I think I watched it once when Rafe was little.
Okay. Confusion. It got the raise. You're basically hypnotized and making you distracted, invulnerable, and if you fail a smarts roll at -2. Which you don't. You are able to stave off the hypnotism. which was one whole PowerPoint. Done more to that. But anyway, this goblin in the meantime is just going to shoot you with its bow. Hitting you. Missing you. Why is it missing you? Oh, medium range on a goblin bow.
Because that's the one that's outside in the net held by Goodfella.
Oh, for crying out loud. Sorry, thank you. Sorry, wrong goblin. In that case, I am spending a penny. Oh, there we go. Good fella.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my goblin on my shoulder and in my net, and have my sword in my right hand, and follow everyone into the chasm.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the goblin that with Goodfella, just because that way I won't get confused which goblin it is. Okie dokie. That brings.
Can I use my Benny to re-roll that?
Be my guest. I'm nice like that. Oh, look at that. You get a whole extra inch of movement. Ooh. You got another 4. You got another 5, actually. Yep. I'll get you to there. Yep. Okay, now.
And I'm gonna tell Arena, leave my goblin alone.
Okay. Now I'm going to shoot Arena with the correct goblin.
I give him a look that only a female elf could give.
I won't ask. Oh, you are lucky. As you're doing that,
and then with all his crafts, he goes, "Good fellow. Oh, it's that time of the month, or what is it? Year with elves? Because he aged slower."
Ooh.
God.
I'm just going to walk away now.
Maybe you're an elfopause.
Birdie's going to step forward so that he can see what's going on down there.
Okay. Let me accept that move.
And let's see. Where's Snookums? There's Snookums. I think I'm going to go ahead and shoot the snake thingy in back.
Think you hit. I shall soak that with one of her bennies and fail miserably.
And then Snookums is probably going to have to run. Yeah, it's enough. Snookums will go in there and whack number 7.
Is that like a portcullis or something?
Something, yeah, but it's open.
It's open. So Snookums dives down into this. Those pits are 10 feet deep, you know.
Okay. Well, then Snookums would have circled the pit.
Yeah. It doesn't make any difference movement wise, but just to let you know, those pits are 10 feet deep.
Okay, so nice and shallow. Got it.
I mean, they're curved, but you know what I mean. But yeah. Anyway, Snookums can still get there, so that's not a problem.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Snookums to target, but it keeps having Bert target the goblin instead.
Okay, I'll do it for you. There we go. I'll have to have a chat with Vicky. I think he's on holiday at the moment, but he might be back now. That is a hit and a miss. Imagine you're a goblin who hates animals, and then 200 pounds of black cat lands on top of you. They really hate dogs, don't they? And horses, but yep. So
Well, it could have been worse. Somebody might have given them reading lessons.
That's very true. That is very true.
You can't read books because that steals words from your heads. Yeah, goblins are in that. God, everybody just keeps rushing off. You know what? I didn't even get a chance to load the boat. I'm too busy running after you lot. Take that off. You take the little one.
Did you change the defaults as well?
Okay, Gelsa Sparkly Tips. Last but no means least.
Doesn't this look like an arena?
She's gonna come up here and step over here and hide behind Dondred.
It's a room. It looks nothing like Irina.
And then she's gonna throw one of her star knives at the creepy thing.
I wonder if they
I
put
love
colours
that.
on
It's a
them.
ridiculously long range for the star knife to be thrown, and yet Gelsa still hits with a raise. Okay, I'm going to try and soak that. Oh, crikey. I'll use one of her bennies to try and soak that. That's going to fail because she's taken a wound. What is this today? Okay, she has taken 2 wounds. New round.
Don't let her get away with my star knife.
Crikey. Another Benny being spent here, I think.
How did 6 damage from the star knife do a wound to something toughness 6?
Because it was shaken from
Because it was
birdshot.
shaken.
Ah, right, okay.
Because if I'd been paying attention, I would have unshaken it and just had it shaken again, but I wasn't paying attention.
Ah.
Good fella.
Wow. Goodfellas Jazz, what's going on? Where's this Tafiqua thing?
Top right corner of the room.
He's going to charge forward badly and blindly. To 6. And then he's going to use his magical burst or blast or whatever he's got.
I will say, if you are absolutely going to take that direct path you've marked out there, you will have to make an athletics check to successfully leap over the 10-foot pit.
I accept that challenge.
Go for it. No problem at all, because it's only 2 inches across, so you clear it.
He was going to go bust and brain the goblin on the side.
Very much so. Which reminds me, the goblin is yelling and squealing in the bag.
So I'm going to launch a burst with
The anticipation's killing me. A burst with.
Okay, have you accidentally muted yourself, good fellow?
No, I'm looking at what I can add to it.
Oh, that's all right then.
I just learned that you could do that by watching you guys. When you were adding all that stuff to the sparkles last game.
Indeed. So you can do that. You can, for extra 2 points of damage, you can increase the damage, or you can cause fatigue, or you can make it lingering damage, so the next round it still hurts. basically.
I am the lingering type of fellow. I'm like a moldy cheese. I stay around a long time.
Okay, so that's going to cost you 4 power points if you successfully cast it. 1 power point if you fail to cast it. So you're going to do a burst with lingering damage. Go for it. Make your spellcasting roll.
It's on fire.
That's a hit. So roll your damage, and I'll hit it with the lingering effect, which will be 2d4, won't it? Next round. 7 points of damage causes a wound on this thing. I'm getting quite knocked here. I successfully soak that damage, but the lingering damage may still hit it next round. But it still cost me a penny. Rannick.
I'll carry on running in. Not as fast as me.
All sorts of chaos is going on in there.
Over into the rubble there. And we'll then kick a rock in the general direction of this thing to try and distract it.
Okie dokie. Sounds like athletics to me.
Me too. I missed.
Okay, over to her. Well, she's in a bad way. She's going to take lingering damage at the end of her on the victim's next turn. So it's actually at the start of it, not the end of it. 2 damage. That's not going to hurt it, fortunately. Phew. Okay. What's going to happen? She is going to. I think really we're in trouble. So I think she's going to have to do this and Benny it. Sounds good to me. And I'm wondering the best. I wonder if I can make. I'm wondering if how this will work. So if I go and do that with moonlight and then turn on lighting, that should give everything in the room ambient light, shouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then I should be able to actually do. Oops.
Clever.
Darkness is opposite of the light.
Yeah, I should then be able to put darkness on her, as it were.
Is that greater darkness?
It's not true darkness, no.
So those of us with dark vision should still be able to see through it.
Yeah.
Which we can't.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, you can you?
Maybe because that's really stupid thing to say. Ignore me.
No, I can't, but he can.
In fact, actually, true darkness requires the extra edge, so it can't be true darkness. Okay.
I wonder what happens if I run inside that.
Okay, that brings us to the guard. That's rather cool, that sphere of darkness, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, Jossa.
So, will my wand of light counter the darkness?
Yes, it will, actually.
Yes, it will, actually. Well, then I'm going to go over there and I'm going to pull out the wand of light.
Okay.
Ooh, it is bright.
But my eyes were just adjusting to that as well. Yeah.
So you're now blinded with the light.
Don't forget to
No,
take a charge.
blinded by the light.
Don't forget to take a charge off. But yes, you cast light and remove the darkness.
Where did she
But
go?
don't let the sun go down on me.
Indeed, that's the question. Where did she go?
There was someone else I've seen.
So, Jelsa, you cast light. Donjad. I think my. Okay. Well,
Did you go down that hole?
I can turn. I'll turn off the lighting because it's giving me some jip.
And the light from the wand will last 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no other exits from this room, is there?
Not that you can see.
With Donrad, because that free notice roll.
Could she have swum up water? Did we hear her enter the water?
You didn't hear a splash.
Could she have fit through that gap?
The darkness didn't come out all the way to the water.
No, but invisibility would have let her do that.
She could still be there invisible now.
Combat is, for all intents and purposes, over.
Joseph, since she's not where we thought she was, Joseph's going to take her light and go over here. And
Do you know what? I'm just going to cast the blind on a large area selective. It's a glow effect.
Just in case she's there, but we can't see her.
Well, indeed.
So we'll just roll it anyway and burn the PowerPoints just because he would.
Can see why.
Where did it go? Okay, you cast blind. Okay, that's an impressive casting.
Yeah, large area with glow.
Okay.
I'm scared if it's I want. Yeah.
Could she?
So I want to flash a light on it and it'll create a religious glare effect.
So who did you select not to affect?
Selected not affect friendly characters.
Okie dokie. In that case, I'm going to use some artistic license because to be honest, I feel this would be the case. Unfortunately, you forgot about the guard. He blunders into the air effect just as it goes off. Suddenly goes, I can't see. Trips and falls and disappears.
I think I might have disappeared. Have I disappeared?
Oh, did you do it as well?
Well, look at me.
Oh yeah, brilliant! Isn't that cool the way that works? Well, Jelson, you know Rita, rather, you know where you are.
Yeah.
Why did I cast blind and people disappear? What was that about? Somebody was
for the record, you cast when you basically look up from casting blind, it would appear you notice the readers vanished and the guards vanished.
Oh, you're going to have such a complex about that now. That's funny.
Did they go through a trapdoor?
Serena, pretty much. Well, I can let you know what's going on. Try not to scream too loudly; it will upset other people.
Understood.
Actually, there isn't a description. It's pretty much as you can see.
Fair enough.
Does the goblin respond to Rannick's question?
Sorry, I had maps over things.
Ah.
Do you want to make a notice check, Arena?
Yeah. Oh, Arena.
Certainly.
Bert is going to check out this water. Is it running into the little depression or is it running out of the little depression?
It's running in here.
So is this a hidden area that's got anything to do with the stonework?
That didn't work. Oh, hang on. I know what I meant to do. I meant to right click on the icon, aren't I? And then, I thought, I have to right click up here to whisper. That would have been nice to be able to right click on the map sometimes. You're an elf as well. It's rather appropriate. No, the water is flowing into that pool there.
So it's got to be draining from it somewhere.
Logically. What did it say about that? It did say, didn't it? The 4 small alcoves face each other, 3 circular pits. The smell of the damp earth fills this 40-foot chamber, no doubt, caused by the water trickling from the collapsed rocks to the north. So it's not very fast flowing.
Yeah, but it would still have to be draining out somewhere.
Logically. I agree, you agree, but the adventure doesn't seem to care.
Yeah, okay. Nobody cares. Got it.
Right.
Possibly there's a crack at the... Logically speaking, there's probably a crack at the bottom. You know what I mean? That's enough for it to flow out.
Just enough to balance it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wizard did it.
Bert is going to come over here and pick up one of these rocks and toss it into this depression and see what happens.
Okay, it hits the bottom and stays there.
Rannick was going to be looking for the rock that he kicked at the snake and do the same with this depression as it happens.
Okay, you throw the rock in there, it vanishes.
Well, that's new, says Rannick, and jumps in.
Huh?
Just move slightly to the left a bit. You might have to drag it rather than use the cursor keys. Or that's it. Do you like that?
Aye, and then you get an error. Aye, it's portals, isn't it? I'm going to jump in after them.
The only problem is trying to hit the token because you can't resize the tokens anymore.
Joseph saw everybody else jump in there. She's going to bring her wand and she's going to jump in.
Dude, so what actually causes you to go through it? Is that a trapdoor?
It's a magical teleport. It's magical teleportation.
Oh,
anyway,
right.
Basically, Irina hasn't opened the door in front of her. She's just standing at the end of the corridor.
I can't see the door. I didn't realise it was a door.
Oh, you've opened the secret door. That was back here. Okay.
By the way, was that you trying to prank me there, Jill? When you two disappeared, I thought I disintegrated you.
No,
thought that'd gone off and.
I had no idea.
It was a bright flash. I've never cast blind to make somebody disappear before. That was a bit weird.
I think the cards need to be dealt.
Wow. I'm going to need an athletics check from you, please. Are you happy with a 6?
On a D4, yeah, probably. Oh.
Okay, sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Hit with a raise. This might hurt. Okay, you are basically as you step through the door. Basically, you are covered in acid that just sprays at you as you come into and it basically. Well, it might hurt, but you might be able to avoid it at the last second.
I'm trying. There we go. I couldn't find the. Yeah, I'm gonna try. Drop it there. Oh.
Just press Control on your keyboard. And it'll bring
drop it here.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Apparently, I've been doing soaking wrong forever, so I was just asking I did it the right way.
That's okay. You avoid. Why can't I get? I might just move. I might just teleport. I'm going to manually move. Good fellow. Oh, I think he finally teleported. There he goes. I think basically I think one of the things that stopped working in Unity that worked in Classic was you could make the portals bigger. They don't seem to do that in Unity at the moment. That and the fact it's not really for this. It's not really for. Well, it does work, but on core rule sets, but it wasn't written for Savage Worlds. But I just thought I'd give it a try, and I thought it'd be perfect for one of my traps like that, where someone might just hit it and teleport off. Anyway, combat. We shall begin the combat. So, Dondrad, basically you hear the sizzle of burning acid on stone somewhere ahead of you.
Great, I'm on a bloody 2.
Oh, you can't spend a penny.
By the way, could you get my fox down the hole?
Oh, yes, certainly. I'll do it the easy way. Dondrad. Where's Dondrad?
I'm going as fast as my little legs will carry me.
I'm just going to move everyone off the portal because it causes me no end of guilt.
So, well, do you know what? I really do hope that Arena gets killed.
Thanks.
One day, but not today.
I'm not sure how to take that. That's the oddest thing ever.
That is a
Well,
bit.
you get to go to heaven. It pleases Iron God, and you go to heaven. But
She didn't actually take the damage, by the way.
Did she though? I thought she took a wound.
She soaked it.
Right, in that case,
Don't
Let's
spend your
not make
PowerPoints on it. It was a nice fall,
right. In which case, I'm still going to have to run because I thought. Nice. Like 2 inches of movement. I'll get just past the guard.
Indeed. In fact, the guard. I hadn't noticed Arena had fallen down, so the guard actually stays up top because he ain't going to jump through a magical portal.
So anyway, I run up to heal Arena, and she's not required it, and that's what happens.
Rannick.
She's all right.
Well, Runit will move past, spot the gribbly snake thing.
Yep.
Right then, mistress. Can you sew? Well, stitch this. And I'd like to wildly attack. I'm trying to find the effect.
Oh, okay, that affects things. Hey, I really. Given that, hang on, how the hell did that happen? Oh, that must be a bug. That must be a bug in the That must be a bug in the bestiary. So I'll have to sort that one out. See, I'm finding all sorts of stuff out here. I'm getting to test the bestiary today.
Out of interest, this being all kind of like scaly and weird, does this in any way count as a dragon?
No.
Okay, just worth it.
It's a goblin snake.
No, the dragon snake.
I have a really okay.
What?
You're kidding me. Yes, it's obviously draconic, isn't it? Okay. You know how I'm probably boring you to tears with the quirks of my installation of Fantasy Grounds on the PC I run all my games on. Every NPC has type NPC. Even though I know the monsters have actually got the correct type in there, it just shows them on my computer as type NPC. I really do not know what is wrong with my epoxy machine. For the record, it's just my machine. Everyone else's will be fine. It's very frustrating. Okay.
I've sticked in the acid then.
Well, I think we know what's happening there. You are now prone and distracted again.
Yeah.
I'm coming to the conclusion that sword might be cursed, mate.
It might be. Bugger.
No, I don't know about all this rolling about on the floor, breakdancing stuff. I mean, that's certainly a weird fighting style. Or you just fall on your face out of habit. I don't know.
She's the father of capoeira, I think.
I have to admit, I've just obviously got a preview of the stream. It does look really cool with your little icons popping up. I must admit, I have to thank Aki from Sprawl Runners for sending me the code to do that. It's really cool. Okay, good fella. Have we lost Mr. Goodfella? We do sometimes.
Yeah.
You've appeared in a circular room with a set of stairs heading northwards and the sound of combat.
I will chase after the sounds of combat.
Okay. 6 inches will get you to the top of the stairs. And then underneath Arena, which is not at all.
Do I see any combat?
There appears to be a large snake. Well, it's a small snake, actually, because it's size -1. A snake-like creature with the head of a goblin.
And Rannick lying on the floor at his feet.
And Rannick lying down again.
Why is Rannick always laying down on the job?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's the strangest of things, isn't it?
I'm going to run for 2 to get to the other side of Rannick.
Okay. 1, 2 gets you to the other side of Rannick.
Watch where you're putting your. Oh, bloody hell! Will you people stop doing that?
And since
Stop
I am
laying
still
down,
holding
stop
on to that
stepping
bag of fun goblin,
Yes.
I am going to slash at the goblin-headed snake with my regular sword.
Okie dokie. I'm going to leave the bag of fun goblin in the pit for the time being, but he is with you. Because I can't get him near you because you're surrounded by walls. That's a hit. Oh, she's out of bennies, and I'm down to my last benny. That's really annoying. Oh my word! 2 wounds. Well, I shall spend a benny to see if I can soak that, and I can soak all of it. Wow, look at that. She couldn't do that earlier, but I am now out of bennies. Jelsa.
Well, they all run off ahead. Just gonna skip along to catch up to him at a run pace.
Okie dokie.
For her, a run pace. Ooh, I get a whole 8.
It's good enough to me.
Yeah.
Need to, sorry. I'll accept that because you can't see what you're going on. That's 5 to there, wasn't it? I just need to make it.
Yeah. And I'll squeeze past Conrad. And I'll step in here. That takes me the 8. I mean, she's laying there. I don't talk. You stole my star knife. And I'll throw the other one at her.
I forgot about the fact she stole your star knife. I like it. Just hiding. Okay, over to her. So, right, first things first, this is all getting very complicated. Let's move that large burst template out the way, and that's Rannick, so I'll leave that there. So, first thing I'm going to do is, as an action, I think we'll multi-action. I think the first thing we'll do is we'll draw a small burst template. We'll place it right there, so it hits, because it hits the 3 of you. And the goblin snake, it releases a disgusting belch. You all need to make a vigor roll or at -2 or suffer a level of fatigue from the stench. So that's Rannick, Goodfella, and Jelsa. Vigor check at -2 or be nauseated.
Bloody hell, good fella, did you drop one?
I have to give you one for that.
Nope, not today.
That's a point of fatigue on Jelsa.
I'm using
Rannick.
a Benny on that.
Rannick has obviously spelt worse things.
Yeah.
Does it make me nauseous?
Yeah, it's basically you're nauseated, which is basically fatigue.
No, I'm just gonna throw up on Rannick.
Okay,
And Goodfella's not resisted yet.
I'll resist for him because I'm nice like that.
What do I have?
Bloody hell, Sparkle Tits! That's almost worse than Goodfella's trump.
I'm afraid Goodfella is going to also vomit on you, Rannick. And as her second action, what's she going to do as her second action? She is going to... I think we're going to have...
Well, hey, I don't understand what just happened.
Sorry, well, you just basically got belched on, and it was very unpleasant. If you want to spend your last Benny to attempt to soak it, by all means do so. But otherwise, you just throw up on Rannick and suffer a point of fatigue.
I'm gonna waste my last Benny on.
Go for it. So that'll be a vigor check at -2, please. Well, look at that. It was well spent, Benny.
Oh,
666611. Okay, no problem at all. I really don't know what to do with her last thing. I think I'm just going to bite Rannick because he's on the floor.
Well, at least a good fella's now got to unthrow up on me.
Yes, indeed. But it sounds quite unpleasant up there.
I was going to say, yeah, there's a lot of nasty stuff going on in there.
There's definitely bodily fluids everywhere.
But Bert doesn't like leaving his friends in the lurch, so he is going to go ahead and step this way.
That got interesting fast. There you go. I think.
Yeah, something like that. He's going to see everybody vomiting all over poor Rannick. He's going to see Rannick laying on the ground again. And I will go ahead and shoot the snake thing again.
I'm just going to make a slight name change to Rannick. There we go.
Thanks.
Delete it later.
Rannick
Rannick the prone.
Shouldn't it be Rannick the doormat?
He's no longer Rannick the half orc. He's now Rannick the prone orc. Okay, you can take it off. Obviously now I've done it, but I was just feeling amused. Snookums.
Snookums is also going to have to run. Oh, come on, really? Going to squeeze in here between Goodfella and Rannick, or maybe he's got a paw on Rannick. Who knows? And we will attack
Everyone
the
else
snake.
has trod on him. Why not?
So he's beginning to be called Matt.
Actually, what items has she got? She might have to use them. No, she doesn't.
Get off me, you daft beast! Watch where you're putting those claws. Oh, bloody hell!
Wait. Shouldn't that last one be... Oh, bloody hell!
No, Rannick's a manly half-orc.
Not anymore.
not where those claws just went.
We will not be making our pounce attack this time, though we will do a frenzy attack. Oops, no, don't roll that one. Roll this one.
I shall turn off pounce. I shall skip pounce this time.
Very poncy pounce, or skip pounce.
Double miss. You know what? Let's go ahead and spend one of Snookums' bennies to re-roll that.
Certainly, one of Snookums' bennies to re-roll that.
Oh, good grief!
Oh dear!
Oh, Lord!
Okay. Okay.
You slipped in the vomit.
Don't tell me Rannick was just castrated.
No, I don't think that. So Snookums is definitely slipping in the vomit. Snookums is definitely going prone and desperately gonna have to do a lot of running afterwards. Is basically definitely going vulnerable. However, I'm going to basically say Rannick has now got a cat stuck on top of him, so he's definitely vulnerable as well because you are underneath him. And it's funny to pick on you today, mate.
That's fine. I don't mind at all.
It's beginning to feel like, I don't know, the Three Stooges or something.
It's the dice gods. The dice gods have decided that Rannick.
If you got cat fur stuck in vomit, that's nasty.
But Joseph finally has the perfect nickname for Rannick because he's been calling her Sparkle Tips. So forever, here, ever after, Rannick's going to be known as Stumblefoot to Joseph.
Okay. Jelsa. Sorry.
Arena.
I apologise.
That's why I didn't respond.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to sit back and get out the popcorn. Definitely entertaining. Okay, let's see what I can do from a distance. I don't fancy getting close into that mess.
No, not so blame you.
But then down here. All right. I'm going to cast on. I'm going to cast on you, Rannick.
Ooh, spellcasting protection. Ah,
Not that you need
spellcasting. PORT.
when I was a kid, I was too scared to go on that program because I couldn't spell.
Oh, I love that program. I bet it's really boring. I bet it's really boring to be the one in the helmet in real life, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, I bet the Americans won't even get those references. So.
Neither did I.
Oh, you never saw
Nightmare.
Nightmare. You never watched Nightmare. It was basically Dungeons and Dragons.
I can't remember.
No worries. Okay, you didn't get the raise, so that is just going to be armor +2 on Rannick.
Yes.
I'm assuming Amber's just going to stay away from all the smelly icks.
Yeah, in fact, Amber might even possibly back slightly further away from the smelly icks, thinking, ew.
Okay, that brings us to a new round. I'm out of Benny, so I can't do anything to beef up the nasty, although she's proving quite nasty in her own right. Jelsa.
Rannick's down. I was fatigued, but I'm not down. I'm going to move around.
Actually, Rannick's first.
Ooh, someone's got stroppy and spent a Benny.
Oh, Stumblefoot, go ahead and get to
I
your
wasn't
feet.
having all of that happen and then be on the 2 of clubs as well.
That was a good job. 2 of clubs, the king of hearts.
Yeah.
So
Rannick wants to stand up with a roar, throwing Snookums off his back.
Okay.
Spin round to Jelsa and say, "That was my best bloody jerkin, Sparkle Tits," and then swing his sword back at the snake and said, "And you can shut up and all."
Okay, you're no longer prone.
And hopefully not critically fail again this time.
You said it,
No. Otherwise,
Yeah.
being vulnerable, distracted, and everything else, you're going to have to stab yourself in your own leg.
Yeah, let's just hope that
Watch
doesn't
him
happen.
slip in all the vomit right here.
I'm going to do a desperate attack with everything that's going on.
Okie dokie.
I'm going to take +4 to hit and -4 to damage, but you have said that this is a dragony thing, so you know.
It's a sneaky thing.
It's a snake.
It's a snake. It's a poisonous snake.
Well, I've
It's a
hit
goblin
it.
snake. Well, in fact, it's a type. It's actually an NPC because obviously I've got that interesting bug.
Yeah.
Where's the bestiary?
In front of the bestiary.
My guess will be it's an aberration, but we shall have a look.
Probably.
It's an abomination of God.
Okay, well, now in an attempt to really upset me, my 32-bit version of Adobe Pros decided to crap out on me. Anyway, I'm fairly confident it's not a humanoid or a dragon, so
Okay.
it is just a goblin snake, but just a wild card one. You score a wound,
Which will do.
which will do that.
take
Now it's Jelsa's turn. Ah, there it took a while. Goblin snake. A goblin snake is on page 67 and is an evil aberration.
Mm.
I figured it would be. Jelsa is moving to there.
I'm dodging around Rannick. Because this thing got my star knights again back.
You've hit it with your scimitar. You wound it.
And I'm going to yell at it to give me back my star knife.
Arena.
Forget your bloody star knife. I'm going to have to wash this jacket. And my trousers. Look what you've done to my trousers.
Don't let Desna hear you say that. I'm sure she already did. Too late.
I don't know what to do. I'll go and hold.
I completely know the feeling. Good fella.
All right, let's So Rannick is still on the floor.
Rannick stood up in a very dramatic stand up, threw the cat off him, complained at Jelsa, and stabbed the
mutant.
snake.
Stab the snake.
Jelsa stabbed it, and she's yelling at it to give her back her star knives.
And Snookum's rolling around on the floor in vomit.
Trying desperately to look cool. Ooh, on me. So I think you're just going to hit the snake, really, aren't you? Finish the snake off.
Seriously?
Narcolepsy. Hello. Go for it. That's a hit. Roll that damage. Oh, that's a wound on the goblin snake. She is still alive, though, but...
Wow, how many wounds has she taken? Like 7 or 8, isn't it?
I think she healed when it came down here.
She healed. She obviously came down here and healed. She took 3 wounds and then escaped. Then she's taken another 3 wounds. No one's ever done more than 1 wound to her at any one time, for the record.
Well, I did 2 with my first shot.
You think you did 2? You actually did 1.
Well,
she's got that can't take more than 1 wound thingy.
She's unstoppable.
Fine, then I will do more than 1 wound now.
I really like unstoppable. You don't overuse it, but it is fun. Go for it.
Doesn't a hit with a raise ignore unstoppable, though?
No.
Jokers ignore unstoppable.
Jokers, I knew something ignored them.
That's a hit with a raise. And that's a wound. That will be the end of her. Splat.
Now I'm going to get my star knives back.
Yep, you can pick up your star knife. I'm going to unlock the tokens. I'm going to get rid of the splat and zoom out the dungeon a bit.
Snookums is going to come back here and hope that he can find the teleport back.
Rannick's going to try this door, find that it's locked, and then try and bend these bars so he can get to that water to get himself cleaned off.
Okay, this vault forms a long barred hall extending 60 feet to the north. 4 small antechambers, because you can see those through the bars, with barred entry lanes line the east and west walls, and an iron stand within smaller alcoves, and the 2 larger ones flank an open pool at the far end. Okay, so you got to put here.
Yes.
Okay. These okay. Okay, I am not sure why. I'm not sure why that one's. I think that was a mistake on my part. That one should not be locked. So
In which case, Rannick's going to go through it and stride straight towards the water, jump in, and try and clean himself off.
Okay.
Had he not been vomited on, he wouldn't be doing anything nearly that stupid. But,
Okay.
you know.
Totally understand where you're coming from. I'm going to stand guard over you in case something stupid happens.
Okay, so, Donjan, make a notice check, please.
I'll wait here. Why?
If you make the notice, you'll have it.
You're a dwarf and you're in the right spot to make a notice check.
Right.
Don't
Is it +2 then? That's why I asked.
Why would he be a +2 out of interest?
Because I'm dwarf.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so even with the -2, there's a secret door to the east of you.
Yeah, so when you're doing tiling, if you leave a gap in the tiling, that's a good sign. You guys don't do tiling, don't you? Don't you do tiling in kindergarten? Well, I did. Well, never mind. It was anyway. Secret door.
You determine there is a secret door there, but you are unable to determine any way of opening it. Can I have notice?
The wall's visible there. The wall is not visible there. Therefore, it's a bit of a.
It was a deliberate giveaway, by the way.
Right.
I deliberately left it like that, and I think they two do agree. I don't have a problem with the way it works. Jelsa's fatigued. Oh, okay. Bert. I'm going to have to lock the tokens. Bert has already stepped in there anyway. So, okay. Bert stepped into the open cell. There's a serpent-like warrior statue there. As he steps inside, the statue comes to life and attacks him. At the same
Naga.
time, can I have a notice check, please, Bert? No, that's fine. We'll worry about it afterwards. So we will initiate the arena should be off hold and should be dealt in. And good fella gets to go first.
I got my goblin.
You have your
Where
goblin.
did everyone else go?
They went through the door into the corridor, and you could hear splashing at the far end, and you could also hear Bert sort of looking at it, sounding a little concerned. And the sound of stone moving on stone. And I forgot to turn on the sound effects for this dungeon. I'm really annoyed. All this time. Got really cool dungeon effects for this place, but I forgot about them. Oh well. What's your plan, sir?
I am ready.
Yeah, right.
Well, I shall say you can get to there, no problem at all. Which then you could hear Bert shouting something further up, but that's about it at the moment.
I will run after them.
Go for it. That will let you get to. Hang on. That will get you to there, which will get you to there, which will get you into there. So if you really want to, you can attack the female snake warrior statue.
That sounds awesome.
Go for it. It didn't target. Try that. Let me try that again. Why aren't you targeting the statue? Right, go for it. Make that attack roll, please. That's a hit. Roll for damage. Bloody hell. Really? Okay, you shake it. Rannick.
Okay, hearing the fight starting, Rannick's going to climb out of the pool.
Okay.
Is there room for me to fit in there?
Why not?
Then I'm not going to draw my sword because I don't want to blunt it. Rannick's going to, well, punch it basically.
You're going to punch a stone statue.
Rannick, he's got leather gauntlets on. He's going to punch a stone statue. He's got fists like meat hooks anyway.
Oh, he's so mad about being puked on and everything else, he's not even rational anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, Stumblefoot, that's how you make mistakes. When you get mad in a fight, you're going to screw up every time.
When I want advice from thee, I'll ask for it.
You hit with a raise. You are kidding, really? You punched a statue to death.
Yes, I did.
I think it's to make up for all the times that he's just fallen on his arse.
He was taking naps during all the rest of it.
Very much so. Did that apply? It didn't. Well, I say you
you're
punched the
really
statue
tough
to
against
death.
things that can't hit you back.
Oh, well, you punch the statue, but obviously, well, not to death, but you punch it and you do cause cracks to appear in it. However, it unshakes. I think I'm going to sweep.
No, it's resilient, is it?
Right, so it's made of stone. I'm going to sweep. You see all three of you with a masterwork longsword.
Ooh.
Good fella takes a wound. That's rather appropriate time for this than to hit it.
Was very.
Okay, Rannick is okay, and Bert is obviously was the first one hit. Bert is basically skewered. Ow.
Well, we can't have that.
That's enough to have you not die.
think I'll do one more just to see if I can get better than that. Nope.
Okay, I'm afraid Bert takes a really bad hit and literally cries out in pain as basically Goodfella, basically Goodfella and Bert are caught by this slashing blade as it literally cuts through Bert like armor, like nothing's there. Arena.
Remove here.
Obviously, the only reason Rannick was safe is because his magical protection was still on.
Would you please target Bert, Rannick, and Goodfella?
I certainly can. Goodfella.
You know what? Actually, it isn't.
Did it just roll really bad?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I.
Okay.
I'm already covered anyway. You don't need to talk.
Well, it was about. It's going to run out on you anyway, so I'm going to have this.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, well, that refreshes it.
Yeah, unless you want to go for the raise.
Not with my rolling tonight. I'll just take that and not risk botching the roll.
Okay. So what I will do is I will just reset
I'll
yours
just add to
by
Bert.
Rannick,
Why is that applied to me instead of Bert?
because I obviously targeted you by mistake.
That would be a very good reason.
There's Bert. Armor +2. There you go. And that brings us to Dondrad.
My appetite's high next time.
What's really? I've only
Yeah, I hope he dies as well, but not today.
Channeling energy, that will heal 1 wound.
Yeah, Bert gains 1 wound.
Yep. As healing energy washes through Bert. Jelsa.
Now, I heard Dondrad say there was a hidden door here.
Yeah, it's a big secret. Go find it, because I can't figure out how to open it.
Can I work it out with my thievery?
Yeah, go for it.
I probably would have done, but I'm kind of distracted. It's combat, and it's awesome.
Cool.
It is rough, isn't it? Yeah,
I yelled back to them, I don't think you need my help. I'm sure Stumblefoot can handle it.
Jelsa, as far as you can, you're fairly confident that this secret door is opened remotely. You basically looking at it, you get the impression that there is a way to open it, but it's not by the door.
Ooh, like the ruby that I found that was activating the traps. So I'm gonna start.
You reckon that possibly north, from what you can see from the mechanism where you can clear away some of the muck and look at it, you reckon north of where the door is probably the means to open it.
So, but it would be north in the area, not on the north wall. So up this
Literally
way.
north of the door is what I'm trying to say. Somewhere.
North of the door, the wall.
Well, yeah, maybe on the other side of the wall, for example.
Oh, where Stumblefoot's in there causing trouble. I'm gonna just peek around the corner and see if I can spot a mechanism from where they're.
Make a notice check.
Because they don't need my help.
They don't.
Stumblefoot got it.
Yeah, there appears to be a latch behind the statue. It's almost as if the statue's guarding it. Bert. Bert is no longer shaken. It's obviously healing energies go through you and help you.
Oh yeah, helped a bunch. Bert is going to go full defense.
Okey-dokey.
And then back away from this ugly thing.
Okay, it will of course get an attack on you for doing that.
Of course.
Can Rannick spend a penny to alter the narrative there and be the one to take the hit?
Well, it missed, but so you don't need to.
Yeah, that's why Bert went full defense, was to make sure it wasn't a hit. And that will be Bert's turn, obviously.
If it'd been a hit, I would have allowed it. Schnookums.
Schnookums is going to climb out of the water and shake off and look in there and realize that's a rock and just shake his head and sit down next to me.
Okie dokie. That brings us to the second round. Oh dear, the column gets to go first. We all know what that means, don't we?
I'm out.
Probably.
Belt and Goodfella are going to get slashed again with a sweep. Oh, jeepers. Why did it target Bert when I targeted Goodfella? Goodfella and Bert targeted, not Goodfella and Rannick, who would have been hit.
Yeah.
Rannick was hit and Goodfella was hit. Okay, so the column is going to swing again. Ooh, that was nearly a 1. So Rannick is unharmed. Goodfella takes a wound, I'm afraid.
That's my second wound, right?
It is your second wound, actually, yes. Goodfella's in a bad way. Arena.
I'm going to pull out my wand of minor healing.
Okay.
Trying to work out. Can I use it at distance or is it touch level only? Doesn't say on it.
Good question.
If it's the healing power is touch.
That being the case, I will use it on Bert once now, once next turn to heal both of his wounds.
Okay. Well, you can multi-action, can't you?
Well, in that case, I'll use it twice in a row on Bert.
You roll the spellcasting at -2.
I was going to say. I was about to say though. Actually,
if it's going to be a minus for spellcasting, then I'll do it.
It doesn't actually say spellcasting after it. So technically speaking, that could be a mistake on my part. Because it should say spellcasting. So yeah, you'll do 1 and then 1. Play safe.
1 then 1, yeah. Safe.
So,
Especially when I'm rolling like that, I will bunny that.
Indeed. Oh my god.
Oh, come on. What am I rolling?
I might put this back. There we go.
Oh, that's better.
That's a successful healing. It's a shame. It's a wand of minor healing, so it can only ever heal 1 wound. I love the way it's doing it as a test, but that's by the by. Okay, so you heal 1 of Bert's wounds. Bert.
Bert, feeling much better, will whip out his bow and shoot at the statue.
Okay, you target the statue, which won't let me target it for some reason, but
It doesn't hit. It's scared.
Yeah, it's okay. You've hit it. I mean, targeted it rather. I think because I've somehow put it somewhere where I've put it on the. What have I put it on?
What have you done?
Hang on a second. It's on a bit of terrain. I think that's what's stopping it working. Me targeting it properly. There we go.
It's been stone! Ricochet! Watch it!
Hang on, is that? Oh, that explains a lot. Back in the alcove where you belong. There we go. Bert, you missed. Do you wish to do?
Yeah, no. You see that cut is still hurting, so I didn't get the draw on it I needed. So yeah, no, we're
exactly,
good.
Yeah. I quite like the fact that it really was the wound that made it fail, wasn't it? Schnookums.
Schnookums just gonna pass.
Okay.
Have a drink out of the pool.
Rannick.
Not after washing off in it.
Ew. That's like vomit cordial.
Seeing that he's already cracked this thing once, Rannick is going to focus on the same spot and punch it again.
Okie dokie. You know when you dived into that pool earlier?
Yeah?
You're really lucky that wasn't a no longer able to activate rune well, unlike the other one, because that would have been quite cold and very damaging. But anyway.
It would have been, yes. But, Rannick wasn't thinking straight at that time. Tavis had worked out it could have been one of them, but never mind.
It was once. Anyway, go for it. I didn't describe it with cold and pouring off it or anything, so you were probably okay. You hit with a raise. It's... Ooh! I didn't realise. It's shaken and wounded.
Very resilient. Oh,
It's very
nasty thing.
resilient. Yeah.
But hey, I've cracked it up a bit more.
Good fella, I'm afraid you are basically in a world of pain, and the pain's too much, and you can't do anything except possibly back off, which it would get an attack on you. So I'm afraid there's not a lot you could do.
To go full defense.
You could go full defense. Oh no, defense is an action, isn't it? So you can't.
Mm. You can only do 3 actions when you're shaken.
Yeah. So I'm afraid, Dondrad, you're basically sort of still recovering from the not Dondrad, Goodfella is still recovering from the blow. Dondrad.
Oh. Decisions. Right, aye. So, good fella has to get out of there, really. Doesn't he? Right, round again. You're going to start again from the beginning. Good fella, get up.
Goodfella's wounds miraculously disappear.
Get it, stand up.
Does that also get rid of his shaken, or does he remain shaken? Out of interest.
Remain shaken.
I figured so. Jelsa.
As small as I am, I still couldn't just get past that column, right?
But you can telekinesis the switch.
That's very true. You could use telekinesis. Switch.
Cast Mage Hand on it.
True image doesn't seem very genuine.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay, make your spellcasting roll.
Madonna pointed boobs.
Oh, I'll penny at one time. We're almost done. I have been doing a lot of good fighting, so I'm gonna go have fun.
Okay, basically you hear the sliding of stone.
And because I didn't move for that, I'm gonna, go ahead and make sure the door got open. Oh, I found a stairway.
3 to there.
Hey, they don't need my help. Rannick can handle it.
Okay, you're next then, Jelsa.
Oh, well, they're busy. They don't need my help. Stumblefoot. So I'm gonna come up to here.
Mm-hmm. The stairs continue downwards.
Oh, I got 2 more left to move.
There appears to be a door at the end of the corridor.
I'm gonna yell back, and they probably say, "I found another door."
Okay, good fella. The magical healing reinvigorates you, and you are able to act. That statue is still being all mean and nasty. Do you want to finish it off?
I would like to attack the statue.
Go for it. Go for it. Rannick's been punching bits off it. Maybe you can do more with your sword. You hit it. Roll that damage.
I'd have thought it'd been better off using a mace on a statue. His sword's going to get a dint in it.
Has he got a mace?
Yes.
Oh. Well, then that's a very sensible suggestion.
Too late, though. He's hitting with the sword.
It's only because he's been saying he's using his sword. He can still swap for the mace damage, but it won't make much difference. There's no such thing as... Actually, there is or it isn't, but there isn't, actually. Think about it. I don't even think skeletons are affected by it. You know what I mean?
I think he was more talking about the effect of the...
Yeah, I know. Roll
Yeah.
that damage, Mr. Goodfella. You have hit the statue.
I were being all narrative-like.
I know you were.
Realistic.
I'm going to roll the damage. We seem to have lost communication.
Ganyeros.
The statue shatters into its component parts.
Sand.
Is that
Cement.
Joseph coming back?
Water.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't going back now.
No.
Well, what happened?
She's gone again. She's running about like he's just discovered something shiny. No, she's on the speed now.
Okie dokie.
Found a door. Better than shiny.
What I should say is, we shall, I think, well, no. Actually, no, look, do you like the new mud splat effect? Brand new for the Pathfinder rule set. Mud blood defeated markers.
It's vanished. It was there though.
It is actually there. It's just sort of invisible, I think.
Yeah.
There it is.
In which case, oh right, yep.
Yeah.
It looks like poop.
It does a bit.
He does actually. I hadn't noticed that before. Okay.
So there's a door here.
There is in fact a door here.
I told you.
Okay, right.
Flooded.
It isn't actually, but it does appear to be moving. What's going on over here? Oh, I think Bert is.
What? The floor is green and moving.
Apparently. Okay, Bert is healed. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to lock tokens. Let's unlock tokens. Someone was rolling loads of dice. So, okay, yeah. So you're moving on ahead, and yeah.
Really weird green swirly stuff.
Indeed. Okay, Rita, you might notice you can't move any further.
I have noticed that, yes.
That means you've triggered a trap.
Well, somebody had to.
Okay, so
I was about to say, I hope that ain't a green mole.
Wasn't me.
That's going to be a cliffhanger.
I think I think we shall, in fact, leave it as a cliffhanger. Yes. You do get to make an evasion check to avoid what happens. Basically, as you trigger the trap, the snake head. Can you see the same snake down there that's rising up out of the pit, lower level?
I do. Yeah.
It fires 3 grappling hooks at the wall you're at, basically meaning you have to evade or be hit by one of the grappling hooks.
Now I'm hearing the Indiana Jones music, but I failed my evade unless it's not athletics. Sorry, not agility.
At -2. Okay.
Well, then I really failed. That's actually a 1.
So I'm afraid the grappling hook actually hits you, doing 3 points of damage, which is next to nothing, so you're okay there. However, once basically what happens is the grappling hook hits you, snags you, and yanks you. Once I can get hold of you, because you're right into the pit, which I'm afraid then means you then fall, taking some more damage. So although the grappling hooks doesn't hurt you, you fall into the pit, taking 10 points of damage, which will cause you to be wounded, I'm afraid, as you land badly. Dondrad, you will need to make an evasion check to jump back from the ledge you're on. What the other 2 grappling hooks do is literally pull the ledges and they all drop vertical. So if you make an evasion roll, you can jump backwards. If you want. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'm going to refuse to jump. I'm going to refuse to jump back. I'm going into the trap head first.
Okay, in that case, you take 8 points of damage.
I think because I'm
which
mad.
Doesn't hurt you. And
of course, I'm going to bounce.
At that point, both you and Arita realise why the floor's moving. It's
because it's a mold.
It's a swarm of snakes.
The
whole floor is the whole floor is is nothing but you know that perfect Indiana Jones bit, which is why Arita was spot on. But yeah, basically
I think you should give Arita a Benny just before we end the session for that.
Well, I was going to give her a Benny for rightly calling it, but she'll need to remind me next week because she deserves a Benny for calling it. As Dondrad and Arita fall into a pit of thousands of hundreds of snakes, and they start writhing all over them. And yes, you can determine
raving even more.
You determine
raving
they
all
are
of them.
indeed
the green fluorescent ones.
The raving and writhing venomous snakes, and that is where we shall leave it.
Yeah, so Dondrad Jonrad won't evade it because it sounds a good way to get himself killed, so he will jump in, try to lift her up and shove her out.
Indeed.
Strange
I
little man.
hope you enjoyed the
Just
evil
because you
Mr.
find a
Film
door don't
Party.
mean you have to open it.
Hope you,
I
when you
heard
watch it
that
later,
somewhere
you'll go back.
sometime.
Again, please do not worry about all
You
the
obviously
annoying
never
complaints
played
I'm
any
complaining
offensive
about
to
with Fantasy Grounds and this rule set. It works on every